So I'll redo it over here. Yay, I am live now. Hey, welcome back to Newly Licensed Now What? Today is Winning Wednesday, and we are in Clubhouse. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on all those social media channels. So if you have any questions, please put it in the comments. You should have, if you're on my streaming, you should have something down at the bottom. You can go into my private chats and ask me questions or comments. Where is everyone from? And what can we do for you today on Winning Wednesday? Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is usually a nickname hump day. Hump day because it's in the middle of the week. And sometimes hump day is difficult if you don't have the wins until Wednesday, or if you look at it, you can look at it two ways. It's half through the week and you have achieved your goals for the week already, or it's half through the week and you haven't achieved your goals for the week and it stresses you out for the rest of the week. So I do these because I want to make sure that these new agents understand that they're not alone. And Winning Wednesday can help to get them to understand that they are not alone. And we have a bunch of real estate agents across the country that deal with the same thing. And the room and the live broadcast is there to help. So if you're on my stream, you can see I have a lot of things that are streaming down at the bottom. I have my contact information, which I'm required to do in real estate law. I have my email. I have my www.sam661.com, which is my digital business card, my 10K card. And I have my hero program. I also have a few other items at the bottom, silversolutionsleads.com, which is a branded turnkey system we have that can help you to brand yourself and to be able to have products to send out to your clients via virtually. You can send them to them. So if you have any questions about anything we talk about, as well as if you want to earn your real estate license, which you see it's down here, go to needhelp.club. And if your current broker is not living up to their promises, visit realtymentor.club. So we have all these links going on in the bottom. The only one I have on my Instagram is my sam661.com, because all of my links, my social media links, are all there for you to look at. And if I haven't said yet, I appreciate all of you coming into these rooms every day and letting me pour into you, letting me share some of the knowledge I've learned since being in real estate since 2004. Things change constantly in this business, so you need to be constantly changing. You need to roll with the punches, and that's what this business is all about. You know, you help people every day to have their dream of buying or selling a home. You also help people to realize that there is an exit strategy, and that's one of the things that my brokerage has. We have 5 different ways to make income, and not only from your real estate. And if you are a brand new real estate and you need a way to make money quickly, go to my 10K card, go to sam661.com, and I'm actually going to go there at the same time to show you where you can actually make money. And I'm going to go to the link real quick. And this is bam.eco, it's called. I'm going to go to the link on my Clubhouse app. So go to sam661.com if you're not driving. If you're driving, just remember you can go back to this video and you can go back to this audio later on. And you click on the left side. It says bam.eco. Join bam.eco today. And if you scroll down, bam.eco is an incredible opportunity that costs $199. And what it is a virtual mall, similar to Amazon. But when you join bam.eco, if you go to my link, we're giving back to a Covenant House, which supports, here, I'm going to go in here. You know what? I'm just going to play the video so you can hear a little bit about what the Covenant House is about.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
They're just kids, hungry, cold, and vulnerable. For just $19
Oh, try that again.
a month, you can give a homeless child a warm bed, a hot meal, and a better future. Don't turn away. Let them know you care. Call or go online to supportcovenanthouse.org now.
And that's what Covenant House is about. They're about helping people, giving them a hand out, or giving them a hand up, not a hand out. So that was the little commercial on the Covenant House. So go to my sam661.com, click on the link. Hold on, let me go to the link. Click on the link, go to the left side of my 10K card, my digital business card. Click on bam.eco. When you click on bam.eco, it's going to open another screen. If you want to watch that video I just shared, press the button. If you don't and you just want to help support Covenant House, click join bam.eco. There's a one-time $199 fee, and the money goes to the Covenant House. So, and then what you could do is when you're an affiliate for bam.eco, you can actually make money off of helping businesses to get seen in a virtual mall. So go to sam661.com, open that up. It goes to a next page. Go to the link. Scroll down almost to the bottom. It's 3 up from the bottom. It says bam.eco. Bam.eco. And it's a really good way to, not only you can make money off of it by helping other businesses to be seen on this virtual shopping portal, but you're helping Covenant House with helping those in need that don't have a place. And I'm going to go into Covenant House also at the same time. And I'm going to read some things about it. Covenant House builds a bridge to home for young people facing homelessness and survivors of trafficking through unconditional love, absolute respect, and relentless support. Our doors are open 24/7 in 31 cities across 6 countries, and our high-quality programs are designed to empower young people to rise and overcome adversity today and in the future. Where do your dollars go? We work to ensure every dollar you donate to Covenant House serves the children we care for as efficiently as possible. Our international work to fight young homelessness spans 31 cities across the Americas. Covenant House's network with young shelters provides refuge for homeless, abused, and trafficked kids and a long-term support they need to heal. Hundreds of kids experience homelessness. They come through the doors daily. A gift today provides immediate crisis care and transformational services for a homeless child in need. Is Covenant House a highly rated charity? Independent watchdog Charity Watch includes Covenant House on its list of top rated charities, which means we spend at least 75% of our budget on programs, meet Charity Watch's governance benchmarks, and receive open book status for disclosure on basic financial information and documents into charity work. Give me a second. Let me go back to my Clubhouse. Charity Navigator also ranks Covenant House highly with a score of 84.31 out of 100 overall and 97 out of 100 for accountability and transparency. Is my donation tax deductible? Yes. Covenant House is a nonprofit 401c3 organization able to receive tax deductible contributions year round. Your charitable contribution will go directly towards the resources that Covenant House provides for youth experiencing homelessness right now. And then it has the EIN number. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me stream it also. Now, down at the bottom, you're going to see anna10k.com, which will also take you into the Covenant House to help and support that charity. And let me also share a screen so you could see what I am looking at. There we go. Let me share that. Okay. Nope. Remove. Let me share it differently. I just need this one. And give me a second. Stop sharing and I'll reshare. We'll do this and we'll reshare again using this tool. I don't want the small window. I want just this one. This is the one I want. Okay, great. So I'll go back to what I was tabbing through this for Covenant House. Hey everybody, welcome to the room. Hey Ben, what's going on, man? Here we go. Welcome to the room. Welcome. What's going on, Ben? Nice to see you, my friend.
Same with you. What are we talking about today?
Well, it's newly licensed now, what? And what we're actually focusing on, it's Winning Wednesday. Winning Wednesday. What are the wins that you have today? I was actually just doing several things. I have a link on my digital business card, my 10K, for Covenant House. And since there wasn't a huge amount of people in the room yet, I was talking about Covenant House and how we could help people get a hand up and not a handout when it comes to charities. So that's kind of what I was talking about. Since there wasn't a huge amount of people in the room, I was just sharing some of the really great things that are going on out there to help others.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I got my 10K card set up this month as well. And yeah, definitely it's a great charity Anna's definitely doing for sure. My win today is I definitely had a good 100 cold call dials, and I have a couple of appointments set up for showings this weekend, and later on a buyer consultation. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. And you know, you're fairly new, And what kind of win-win first lesson that you would say for a new agent? What would you do if you were just starting right now?
The number one thing I would share is one of the C's is consistency. No matter what you're doing, consistent doing high productive activities, so that when you do it, there's that gratification saying that you're planting seeds toward a first sale. So that would be my biggest advice. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
No problem. No problem. I'm going to make you a moderator as well. Usually this room is about an hour, hour and a half. It just depends on who comes in. I'm out of pings. I've been trying to ping people in and kind of get their wins this week also. But I'm out of pings. I hate when that happens. But unfortunately, you start pinging people and that's it. They cut you off.
I'll do that right now. See who we can
Appreciate
get in
it.
here.
I love your videos, and I have to
Thank you.
I have to compliment you on that. I love your videos. And what tool are you using for your thumbnails for people that are listening and watching? What kind of tool are you using? Are you just using Canva like everybody else, or do you have something special?
Yes, Canva is the main tool for sure.
Really cool, really cool. And for those listening and watching, and because I'm streaming this also, my friend,
Oh,
where are you located? Where can they send you business?
well, I am in the Southern California area, just like Sam. I am more San Gabriel Valley area, so you're West Covina, La Puente, Baldwin Park, City of Industry. I even go, Orange County, so Brea, Anaheim. So yeah, I don't want to step on your toes.
No problem.
Yeah.
We're first of all, we're at the same company, which is awesome.
Yes.
We have some of the same traders in there, which is unbelievable. I met your team. I met some of your teams in Vegas at
cool.
EXPCon, the Aguilars. I met them.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because I had no idea they were kind of your group, and I met them. Remember, I had the digital mask going on, and
Yes.
so I met them. So you'll have to tell them that you know me. It's kind of funny.
For sure.
It's just a small world.
It is, and that's what's great about in-person events, is that we finally get to see each other. So, yeah, man, Sam, you've been definitely an influence in my life. I appreciate that, and to be honest, like, I'm coming up 1 year at Clubhouse next month when you invited me onto it. So. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Little pomps and circumstance for you, my friend.
Right. Awesome.
So what are your goals? Have you done goal setting for 2022?
Yes. I'm shooting for literally the stars and the planet here. So I ended with 5 transactions this year, my first year. So I'm going. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to go for 60 to 70, at least 6 a month. That'd be amazing. So I have to do at least, that would get me to. I have it down in my business workbook planner, but I forgot how many total GCI that is, but yeah, that's my goal. I definitely want to do at least agent attraction to our business at least a month. That'd be great. And just I have some personal goals, like stop eating junk food. Which seems to be really tough for me with chips. So at least lessen the chips down. How about you?
Hey, that's a great goal, actually. That junk food, garbage in, garbage out, as they say in computer technology, when you put garbage in, that's what the programming comes out as garbage. So yeah, your body is this machine, and most of us don't treat it very good, especially in this real estate business. It's crazy because you have when you're really, really busy, it's hard to stop and have lunch and dinner and to do those things. When you're like running from one place to another, it's tough. So balance is so important when it comes to this real estate business, because you can really lose yourself. When you got 4 or 5 transactions going a month, you got to make sure, first of all, you have your systems in place. And I use a TC. I use a transaction coordinator because I know where my strong points are. I go in, get the listing, get the buyer, and I send my documents to my transaction coordinator. I know where my strong points are. Documents are not my strong point. Even though I'm getting better at it as time goes by, I'd rather hand it to somebody else, pay them, a couple $100 to keep it organized and to remind me of the dates that I need to know. So delegation. You don't have to delegate the ones that you don't have the strength in. I don't want to say I like to say a positive. The ones you don't have strengths in that maybe you need to work on, delegate those. And whatever it may be for you, because everyone has strong strengths and things they need to work on. So being in the business almost, 6 months to a year, have you thought about what your strengths are and what you need to work on?
Yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people heard of Swot Analysis. It's a really good kind of personal check on yourself, and I did that with my team. And I know for me, I definitely looked at it for sure. So I'll be focusing on my weaknesses and my strength. As one of my weakness to share is definitely door knocking. And so I done door knocking in the past, but now I'm gonna do it again. But I'm about to get gas, Sam, so I'm gonna put myself on mute real quick.
All righty, my friend.
All right.
No problem. So, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and I'll just talk while he's doing his gas. Strengths and weaknesses are very important. He talks about a SWOT analysis. Your strengths, your SWOT, and I'm just going to bring this up so I have the documentation on my screen, and I'm going to share it also on my StreamYard. So let me stop sharing that stream, and let me share this one. Give me a second. Let me stop that screen and add this one. So we're going to share what a SWOT analysis is, since Ben had spoke about it. SWOT analysis. Give me a second while it loads. There's all sorts of tools about SWOT analysis. And let me go back one more step. That one didn't do good. It wanted me to buy something, so I don't want to do that. Here we go. SWOT analysis is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats. And if I open up this picture here to view the image, there's a whole bunch of documentation on SWOT and how to look at it. Your strengths, nope, that one is a little bit complicated. So let's do this. It's in, okay, there we go. That's a good one. Let me make sure I have this as I'm sharing it. Give me a sec. SWOT analysis. Oh, there we go. So let me share this. Strengths, population and job growth. Let's see, what is this? Large. These are strengths and weaknesses of a development district. I'm looking for something for competitive futures. Give me a sec. This is about branding. It's basically we're taking a 4 parts, which is SWOT, and we're separating them. Let me view this image real quick here. And let me see if I can make this bigger. See, nobody really has a good example visually of what it is. But it's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's set up as a grid. And your internal origin is attributes of you on your strengths. And then on the other side of it, you have helpful to achieve the objective. Then next to that, you have harmful to achieving the objective. So your weaknesses are harmful, and the threats are harmful to achieving an objective. Now, on the left side of the SWOT, the left side is strengths and opportunities. And it says helpful to achieve the objective. And so it's just strengths and opportunities. So these are the things that are helpful to achieve your objective. And internal origin, it attributes to you, and external origin attributes to your environment. So it's broken down into quadrants. So let's see if it is streaming. Give me a second and just make sure I have it. Fantastic. It is showing in my stream. So fantastic. So that's basically how it breaks down when it comes to what a SWOT analysis is. It's more detailed, but we can go through that at another time. If you want to know more about SWOT analysis, DM me. Go to my www.sam661.com and DM me. You'll see my digital business card, and there's going to be a spot where you can DM me. So this is kind of an interesting thing to bring up. I'm going to see if I could bring one of my professionals that are all about SWOT. And it's kind of a quiet room today. Well, it is the holidays. A lot of people are leaving town, so it doesn't surprise me. But let me close this one. Let me stop sharing. Let me share something from my team and see if that will, let's say we have SWOT in there. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. I'll find it. So let me go to my bookmarks, my real estate tools. When you're in the business for a long time, you get a lot of tools and you get a lot of things that you can go through, and it's important to bookmark them so that way you can go back to them. And this is my, maybe I'll play this. Yeah, let's do that. Let me do this. Let me close this one. Let me remove this. Here we go. Let's go back to here. Let's see.
Master, I'm super excited that you have Masters. All right. Hey, I want to welcome you to Mentorship. What's up, Mentorship Masters? All right. Hey, I want to welcome you to Mentorship Masters. As a brand new master, I'm super excited that you have chosen to be part of our family. You know, this is a big decision. I know it was a big decision for you. and we are going to make sure that you have a great time here. Now, the purpose of this video is I want to just share with you a few things that you're going to want to pay attention to, okay, as you're starting your journey with Mentorship Masters. Because here's the thing, one of my mentors, Artemis Prime, taught me this, is that success is about doing the right things in the right order. Doing the right things in the right order. Because you can do the right things in the wrong order and not get the success you want. So in this video, I'm going to very quickly walk you through the 4-step process to get the success that you want here in our family. So with that, what I want to do is I want to show you just a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to show you, let me do this. I'm going to make myself tiny. And then, so when you log into, first of all, when you log into the workplace group and you go right into it, you'll see that there's a pinned post. Now, when you get in here, it might look a little different
than what is shown on this video. That's okay, because we tweak it all the time. But you'll see a pinned post, and in the pinned post, you're going to see the instructions for new members. So navigate directly to that, and step 1 is to watch this video. You're already watching it, so you've already done step 1. Yay! Now, step 2 is you want to watch our new member orientation, okay? We'll have a link to it there, but I'm going to show you how you can get to the new member orientation very quickly. Step 3 is you want to complete your 30 days checklist, and that's when you log into the portal and you go to the Start Here section and you go to your 12-step success path, okay? Step 1. So that's step 3 is to complete your first 30 days, and then step 4 is to complete steps 2 through 12.
Hey, Tara. Welcome to the room. Sorry about that. I was running my Mentorship Masters video. And welcome. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Sam?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
It's Winning Wednesday. What are you winning with this week?
So, working on goals for my team and putting the final touches on our kickoff session, which is in 2 weeks. I'm a broker team leader in a resort area in Western Maryland and manage about 28 agents here.
Fantastic. Maryland. I heard Maryland is beautiful.
It is, yes. I've grown up in the town where we live now, and we're about 3 hours from Baltimore, 3 hours from D.C., actually much closer to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, only about an hour and a half. We're very Western Maryland. So a lot of people think of Maryland and they think of Baltimore or the ocean, and we are the mountain side of the state.
So do you get snow?
Yeah, yes, a lot. Except right now we have none. It's like 60 degrees outside. It's horrible. We have a ski resort in our market, and normally this week would be one of our busiest weeks. Unfortunately, we got a whole lot of rain over the holidays, so hopefully in the first part of January we'll start kicking up with the snow. But yeah, it's a 4 seasons resort with a beautiful lake and a ski area. It's very nice here.
Fantastic. I love that. And I'm in Southern California. I don't know. You've been in my room a few times. I think I've been in plenty of the rooms with you also.
Yeah, I'm big into the Real Estate All Day group, and I like the Breakfast of Champions. So I actually jumped out of Clubhouse for a little while because I was just kind of information overload for a bit while I was taking my broker class and getting my license. I'm a newly licensed broker. So yeah, so I'm excited to get back in it for the new year and start implementing lots of great strategies.
Well, congratulations. And you have a team, you said 20 agents?
28. Yeah, 28
Wow.
at the brokerage. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And who are you with? Are you with EXP or who are you with?
No, it's actually the independent brokerage. It's called Tailor Made Deep Creek Vacations and Sales. So we're a family-owned group. Yeah, I didn't realize it was where we were going with the room, and then I clicked on your 10K and see that you're with EXP.
Yeah, and I I don't create the rooms as a broker specific. This one is newly licensed. Now what to do next? If you had to go back and you had one thing to tell a new licensed agent, what would you say?
Make a plan and stick to it. Consistency is key. And something that I've noticed with my agents is they may make a plan, but they're so quick to jump off of it as soon as something shiny comes along. And when I talk specifically about that plan and what it means, it's prospecting. And what I see so often is new agents are, and not just new agents, experienced agents too, are so much more reluctant to work in their sphere than they are with strangers. The opportunities are so much greater with people who already know, like, and trust you, that you limit yourself when you're afraid to have what might feel like an awkward salesy conversation with your sphere. So for me, if I could go back 7 years to when I was brand new in the business, I would start much, much more heavily focusing on and trying to lose that awkward energy with my sphere. I would be much more proactive with lead generation and phone calls, open houses. What I now would refer to, the opposite of sweat equity, but your time. Putting your time, or I'm sorry, the opposite of check equity, sweat equity, putting your time in to your business.
That's some great stuff. That's some great knowledge. And John, welcome to Clubhouse. If you want to introduce yourself, where you're at, how it can help you to have a winning Wednesday, feel free to raise your hand and then I can invite you up. And I just changed the top. And if you look at it, it's Agents on Autopilot, and it's a tool that I am actually it's an affiliate program that I'm helping to get out there. And what it is a tool to help branding your agents. It's awesome. It's awesome. So if you have a chance, how do you pronounce your name properly? I hate to mispronounce people's names.
That's okay. It's Tira.
Tira. Mm-hmm. Got it. So Tira, if you get a chance, click on that. Let me know what you think, because I'm trying to get it out to, and it's not just an EXP thing. It's I can go to any brokerage with this tool.
Okay.
It's really cool. And especially, if you got 28 agents, it may be something that we can do a team version for as well.
Sure. So what are your thoughts on, you're a new agent? What do you do first? Where do you go?
My thoughts on being a new agent is it took me forever to go through my phone and really to get rid of the garbage. And I think that should be the first thing, because the people on your phone are the people that know, like, and trust you already. Mm-hmm. There's a reason you put them in your phone. Mm-hmm. But people don't realize you have at least 500 to 700 people in your phone that you have connections with, that you've talked to at one point because they're in your phone.
Yeah.
And it's so simple.
Yeah, I think that's we definitely agree there that it's about starting the database with your sphere. And I've seen, new agents. I've only been brokering this company since July, and we've got 5 agents who are just in their first year, and it's wild, the reluctance that they have. And so for me, coaching those guys to get over that fear of communicating with the people that already know them, and whether it's someone they've known their whole lives, or, as you said, someone that they may have some type of connection with, encouraging them to get past that awkward stage of saying, "Hey, I'm a realtor now, and I can't wait to sell you a house." It needs to come from a more genuine place. So that's where, I try to help them see what types of conversations they can have. It doesn't always have to be, a sales-led conversation.
Absolutely. And I had, I don't know if you ever heard of Marty Bahama. Have you heard of him?
No.
I just tagged him to see if he could come in a room if he has some time, because he talks about that in Facebook groups, how to create Facebook groups. He's awesome when it comes to Facebook groups. So I just tagged him. I hope he can come in. I'm actually going to text him at the same time. because he is just unbelievable.
I somehow got my screen stuck on I was looking through the booklet. So I think I need to close out and come right back in.
Okay, no problem.
Because my screen is stuck.
No problem. Yeah, it's a really interactive booklet. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I was flipping through it, and I think it clicked on a video maybe, and now everything went a little sideways. So
okay, no problem.
1 second.
No problem.
Be right back.
No problem. So what I'm talking about, I'm going to click on this booklet also. She's going to come back in, and I'm going to go to the link. And okay. It's called Agents on Autopilot. If you need if you need time, money, sellers and buyers, we have the answer because we have branded documents in here. And I'm going to go to my next page. Hopefully it lets me do this while I'm on Clubhouse. And it's also, next page, it talks about 6 custom magazines that will generate leads, 3 custom seller contact magazines, 2 custom buyer contact magazines, leads that notify you when they're ready, and it has a few words from the CEO of the system. I'll go to the next page, and then it breaks down the magazine content, what's in there. So it talks about the monthly magazine, which is something I send out to my sphere of influence. And then you got the guides. You got the different guides. You got the buyer's guide, the incentive program, the social media. We have 64 different social media posts. It's for 4 platforms. More listings using your seller magazine. Your home sold in 14 days or fire me. Seller Program Magazine, Ultimate Home Selling System Magazine. And there's some bonus trainings in there. Also, we have pricing for teams. Also, we have influence cards. So it's a really detailed system. And if you click through, you'll see there's quite a few videos in there. So take the time and go through them and see some of the successes that we and our agents have had with these magazines. It's really, really detailed. And if it's for like one person, if you're in the United States, it's like $50 a month. If you're in Canada, it's like $60 a month. But if you have a team, we have it broken down into a team versions as well. And then we could do a Zoom meeting. I can introduce you to one of the other affiliate salespeople, Kim, and she walks through it with us also, and talks about some of the successes that she's had as well with these the people that are using this magazine and these tools. So it's a totally branded for your agents, which is so cool, and it's so needed in this business, especially with people. You can drop $300 a shot easily for marketing in this business. This one's like $60 a month, $50 a month. I mean, it's nothing considering what you can spend in this business for just starting off. So, hey, Kaylani, welcome. I haven't seen you for a little while. Come on up and say hi. Kaylani is amazing, powerful woman, and I'll let her talk about who she is. And she just brought everybody in. So, Kaylani, introduce yourself, dear.
Hey, Sam. Hey, guys. Hey, ladies. Thanks for popping in the room with me. Hi, Kaylani Blackwell, commercial real estate broker and founder of a company called Women in Real Estate that kind of was created because of an idea found here on Clubhouse, in the club on Clubhouse. I saw that you had this room going, and I was like, let me hop in and see what Sam is talking about and support you as you're, moderating. So just here to add to the conversation if possible and just to hop in for a second. How are you guys?
I'm fantastic. I've been doing these rooms. Actually, I've been doing like 5 days a week. I don't know if you've seen some of my streams and my Instagram. I've been doing it on Instagram. I'm taking something from your book and a lot of other people's books when it comes to just getting out there and just doing it. And I don't have a huge following yet on some of my other channels, but I stream them all through my YouTube. So every day I'm out there just getting out there, showing people what there is, showing EXP, showing them, what to do as a new agent? You know, if you went back to
Yeah.
being a new agent, Kaylani, what was the first thing you would say to help somebody have a winning Wednesday?
Oh man, that's a really great question, and something that we talk about often in our group. But I think, when people think that they are getting a license and they're going to get a career handed to them, that's like the absolute farthest thing from the truth, right? You have to understand that although you get a license and although you have a broker, whatever brokerage you decide to hang your license with can be kind of make or break for your first year for one. But nonetheless, it all comes with your mindset. You are your own boss, essentially. The buck starts and stops with you. So regardless of what kind of support you're looking for from a broker, who you want to hand you a pretty career in a box with a bow on it, it doesn't work like that. People often, and I see this a lot of times, especially with the team that I led, think that they are going to just get into this industry and boom, all of a sudden find success. Like, if you do not have entrepreneurial attributes and qualities, you have to find them, right? You have to be consistent. You wear every hat in your business 24/7 until you can outsource, until you can hire some people on. That means if you're marketing, you are your marketing person. If you forget to post one day on Instagram and you had a goal to post every day for a month and you had hired someone to do that, you'd be on their ass about it. Hey, what happened to my post today? Well, that person is you. So you have to hold yourself accountable. You are your transaction manager, maybe, right? If you don't have one necessarily. You are, doing all of your own open houses. You are, you're everything. You're wearing every hat in your business. So until you can take accountability for yourself in that capacity, you're going to run into a lot of roadblocks. But the minute someone takes full and complete ownership over their business is when I see people start to shift and start to see success. And that comes from your marketing efforts, evaluating your different marketing channels on a monthly basis, setting goals, holding yourself accountable to them on from a daily, monthly, and weekly, basis, all of that good stuff. So I know I'm kind of rambling, but the point is the buck starts and stops with you. And so if I'm a new agent, if you get into that mindset, you will be successful.
That's gold. That's gold. Now, that's gold for any of these people that are on the streams or Instagram. Let me know what you think. Let's get some thumbs up, get some love. Let's let Kaylani know. Kaylani, what is your Instagram so we can get you some more followers?
Sure. It's most of my social media are just Kaylani B. That's at KELANI B. Kaylani B.
There you go. So maybe we'll get you some more followers in here.
Thanks. You too, guys. Sam's been in these clubhouse streets really networking, connecting, and supporting. So if I can throw a question back at you, Sam, it's very, very clear. One of the things that I've realized and noticed about you from the moment I met you is that you always knew exactly who you were in this business and who you were here to serve. So I guess my question is how does having a purpose and a why manifesting in your business helped you be more successful?
Wow. That's a great question. And, you put me on the spot, but it really is passion. And if I look at all the transactions I've had this year, they all come from heroes. They all come from heroes. They come from referrals from heroes. And I don't know, I'll give a quick story because I don't want to hog the stage either. My twins were 211 and 215 when they were born. They're now 17 years old. I don't know where I would be if those incredible nurses, medical staff, and first responders weren't there for them. And about 3 years ago, I joined one program. It's called Homes for Heroes. And I just ended that relationship, but I went with Hometown Heroes, which does the same thing. We give 20% of our gross back to the heroes in the community. Police, fire, nurses, teachers, nonprofits, government agencies, all those people that are out there. There's good people out there that are out there, every day just working. And, I get choked up sometimes because it really has changed my life. It's changed my life. It's changed my business. And my kids see what I do every day. And they watch what I do every day. And what I say I do. I go out and I talk to the heroes and my daughters will go and thank them when we're out there and having dinner, or if they see somebody that's a hero. There's one of my daughters. If they see there's a hero out there, they go and thank them and say they appreciate what they've done, the firefighters. And we're all out there with a purpose. And what I say about new agents, I say find your purpose, grab onto your purpose, whatever it may be. And a 10K has the purpose of helping people at Covenant House. And I'll actually change this at the top. I'll edit this and put Anna's information there, because she's got a passion and purpose to help people, children that don't have a home. And it's called Covenant House. And if you go to that pin, you could donate to Covenant House, or you can go to my 10K sam661.com and click on the bam.eco. And if you join that, money gets sent to Covenant House through that link. So find a passion and purpose, focus on it, don't let go of it, even when you feel like you're going to fail, because there's times that you're in this business and you think that nothing's happening. But 20 years later, somebody approaches you and says, I've seen what you do. I see your wrapped car. I see what you do. I see your passion. You're really a person that wants to take care of the community and give to the community. That's what you really feel it. That's when it really sinks in.
That's gold. So Sam, I want to, if it's okay, and you said a lot there, and I want to help unpack a little bit of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? Yeah. So I think one of the things that's really, really important when you talk about finding your purpose and your passion, like I think a lot of times we, as folks in professional industries, think that the two can't coexist. And I am living proof that is false. And we need to completely debunk that, right? So, in fact, I would encourage people to have passions, understand their purpose, and lean into that. That is what separates you from everybody else. When people can find you and say, okay, I want to do business with someone that believes what I believe in, or to your point, I see that they've done this work. I like that. I want to support this initiative. I want to support this effort. How can I do that better? Your purpose, it makes you human. It makes you human. And the truth is there's no expectation to be perfect. There is no, you guys, I don't know if you guys know about my group, but I have the group Women in Real Estate. And, hearing kids running around in the background, Sam, that's normal for us. Coaching women through finding their purpose, discovering that, and incorporating that into their marketing. That's, your targeted audience, right? You don't have to appeal to the masses. You need to appeal to your niche, however you want to say it, right? Appeal to those people, and you do that through finding your purpose. And it's also how you create and build genuine relationships, and it's also how you weather the storm. Like, we know this business is full of peaks and valleys. If you have not been in this business through a recession yet, you're lucky. There will be one at some point. And not to say it's going to look like 2007 and 8 and all of that, but downturns happen, right? The pendulum always swings back the other way in some capacity. So how do you weather that storm? And it is literally through, what differentiates you, which oftentimes is your purpose. So if anyone in this room is listening and you have not determined what your why is or what it's going to be, you need to do some work to do that. And I'd be happy to help anyone do that. That's a big part of our curriculum and what we do at Women in Real Estate.
Yeah, and you have one of the fastest growing channels on Clubhouse too. How many subscribers you got?
I think we just surpassed 59,000. I got to check. 59,000 on Clubhouse, and growing exponentially. I mean, every day we had to form a business entity to help support women off of the platform, right? Because it's the real work. It's cool. It's done on social media, but it's kind of done on a high level on social media. So we have a group of women. You could become a Women in Real Estate member offline, off of Clubhouse, and take advantage of the benefits of, being in our network, our tribe, our content, our courses, everything that we've, kind of curated and put together for women and supporters of women to be successful entrepreneurs, right? We don't know what we don't know, and unless we're set up the right way, unless our businesses are set up with the correct entity structure, we're not being taxed appropriately, we're not saving money where it makes sense, if we're not utilizing and taking advantage of business credit, if we're not getting, minority certified, all of those things, right? We touch on a lot of that stuff in our group. So if anyone, thank you for putting that, pinning my card up to the top. You guys can get more information on women in real estate if you click on that link. But that's all of what we do, and it started here on Clubhouse. Myself and my business partner, we met on Clubhouse. We were one of the first. We were early adopters of the platform, and we started here on Clubhouse, speaking up for women, making safe spaces for women. And it's when I realized that's what I was called to do. I have a position in a very white, male-dominated industry where I can use my platform to help reach back and elevate others. So I'm like, okay, what's the best way to do that? So we created Women in Real Estate. So when I'm saying find your purpose and find your passion, and I said I'm living proof, I am. I did that. That's what I did in all of 2021. And I've leveraged women in real estate in my business, career as a commercial broker at my firm. Like, they support women in real estate. They're our corporate sponsor. They're like doing all kinds of stuff for us. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but it might sound a little cliche, but it's legit. And I encourage everyone to do that inner work that will really take you far for the long run.
And that's why I appreciate you coming into this room. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the women in real estate. I'm raising twin daughters, and I'm the only male in the house. Even my dog, who passed away recently, was a girl. So I am such a strong proponent. I was raised by a single mom, so I understand a lot of struggles from single moms. Raising two teenage boys, my mom did for up until I was like a teenager. So, I'm there for you, Kaylani. We had the opportunity to meet at ADU America, and that was awesome. I met so many awesome people. There's nothing that a woman can't do. You guys are so powerful as a team. As a team, you guys don't tear each other down. You bring each other up. And I see that all the time. And, raising daughters, and, I want them to look at what you're doing and that you could do anything you want. And my daughter is going to be going to college soon. And I show her all the stuff that I do, and I show the people that I'm around, and I point out, these are very powerful women in this industry as well as other industries. I watched The Millionaire, Undercover Millionaire, and I try to get my daughter to come out and sit down and watch, because there's some powerful women that right now are in one of the seasons. There's two women, and then Grant Cardone's the other person that's doing it at the same time. But these women are just go-getters, and will take no for an answer, and will knock down walls to get what they want. And that's powerful. That's powerful. And any man that says that a woman can't do something, it's their ego that's getting in the way. And you know what ego is, right? Edging God out. Edging God out. So men, get away from your ego. Stop thinking that way, and just respect what's going on, and don't live in the past. So,
Sam, that's a bar. Edging God, I've never heard that. I really, really like that. I'm gonna put that on Twitter.
Absolutely, yeah. I heard that a long time ago, and I was raised in a dysfunctional family, and a mom that was into drugs, and you learn things as you grow up. I went to tough love because it was just one of those things, in Al-Anon, Alateen. So you learn a lot of these phraseologies from, having to get through things. So it's so true that an ego is edging God out. And if you take a look at a lot of people that have these egos, and it's, there's something missing in their lives, that they have to feel that they're better than others. And having an ego is actually edging God out. It's not realizing that there's a higher power or something stronger than you, higher than you, has more control of things than you. And that's when the serenity prayer comes out, because you can't control everything or anybody. You can just control yourself.
Speak, Sam. You're speaking the word. I love it.
Hey, Michelle. Welcome.
Hey. Hi, Sam. Hi, Kehlani. Hi, Tiara. Hi, Van, and everyone else in the room. Sam, I just want to say I love being in your rooms, and thank you for always inviting me and letting me come up to speak. Kehlani, I would love to connect with you. I only got in for a short moment to hear you, but so far what I heard I love, and a few things that you touched upon while I was in here was, mind-opening for me. So I would like to connect with you. I also have a 10K card as well.
Perfect. Shoot me a message in the back channel, hon, and I'll give you my Calendly, and let's set up some time to talk on a Zoom.
I would love to. Thank you. And thank you, Sam. Always got good rooms and fascinating minds on the panel, so I thank you for that as well.
Absolutely. You know what? We wouldn't be anywhere without each other in these rooms, in these clubhouse rooms, because I'd be talking to myself.
Amen. I second that, because I'm limited on the rooms that I go in these days. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Hey, Yvonne, welcome to the room. Welcome. Actually, let me go back to Michelle real quick. It's Winning Wednesday. This is Newly Licensed Now What? Winning Wednesday. What are you winning with today? Or what can we help you to become winning for Wednesday?
Well, allow me to be in your room for one. I'm winning. And I got, like I said, these fascinating people in your space here. Kehlani and Van, Tiara. I want to connect. So that's helping me win right there. That's another start for me. And then I would love to connect with you as well, Sam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, Van, welcome up. Thank you so much for coming up on the stage. It's Winning Wednesday. Are you winning this week? Can we help you win? What's the deal?
I am winning. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kehlani. Thanks for bringing me up. I was going to sit in the background and just listen, but thanks for bringing me up. But I guess my win today is probably a little unusual in that this is my first, probably the first year in 15 years that I don't have some deal that needs to close by the 31st, or the world will come crashing down. So I'm just enjoying that and actually preparing to take the 30th off. So life is good.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool when you can take that breath and just look back and see what the successes were for the year, and then look at that and then go forward and be able to set up your goals for the coming year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually interesting for me to kind of feel like I'm at a place where I can kind of recognize that maybe in the past I was, too intent on being busy, and maybe I don't want to say enjoyed too much the whole end of the year craziness, but just to experience it in a different way this year is really good, and I'm really enjoying it. So life is good.
We are blessed. We are blessed to be in our position, to be where we're at, and to be in this incredible United States of America. We have goods and bads, but in all, it's the best place in the world to be, because you could do anything you want here and succeed. All it takes is the mindfulness and the understanding that our minds are what stops us from getting where we want to go. Nothing else. Nobody else. Nobody can stop us from getting where we want to go. It's all in our head.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me, Van. My name is Van, and I'm done speaking. You guys have a great day. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I think we lost Kehlani. So let's see. Francis, does anybody want to come up on stage, share their wins this week? Win-win.
I see Frances down there hiding. I'm gonna ping her up.
Awesome.
Shaking.
Ping, ping, ping.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today?
We're winning today.
Francis.
Good. So, are we sharing our wins for the week?
Yeah, we're sharing our wins for Hump Day. Today's Hump Day, so we're sharing our wins for Hump Day.
You got it. So, my name is Francis. I'm out of the Tampa Bay area. I am still baby real estate agent. I'm working on my real estate agency license. So that's something I'm working on. I've dabbled in real estate investing, but right now I'm focusing on my consulting career. I consult dentists on how to implement sleep. So I've been just working on really difficult sales this week, and that's probably my biggest win, is getting out of my fear of being on my own and really selling my own self. So that's my win for the week right now.
That is a great win. What? So you're winning already. The rest of your week, you have goals and plans and things that you have set for the rest of the week?
Yes, I'm actually going to restart the 12-week year, and I actually start my online real estate course next week. So just making sure that I'm all set up for that. I'm really excited. Something I've been talking about for a long time, and really finally really getting traction on becoming an agent, getting the confidence needed.
Oh man, Francis, why are you not in our mastermind, girl?
I know. I need to get on there for sure. I'm gonna check into it now.
Okay, cool. And hit me in the back channel too.
Will do. Well, thank you guys so much, and I look forward. I love being in your rooms. You know, both of you. Sam, I've heard you before, and I have 2 premature babies as well. So it's always nice to hear others who really just see the value in seeing, who have been there before. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Francis. I appreciate you. Anybody else down there want to introduce themselves? Let us know who you are, where you are. And one thing I always talk about these in the rooms, if we don't know where you are and who you are, how can we send you business? How can we send you business if you don't say hi and introduce and let us know where you're at? Because I got my Instagram on one shoulder, basically. I got my streaming channel on the other. So you never know where somebody's going to come from in business. So come on up, introduce yourself, let us know where you're at. And where we can send referrals, because this is all about helping each other out. And I guess we're quiet today. I'm going to see if I can ping some more people in and see who will come up and say hi. Kaylani, what do you have to say about commercial industry, commercial business? It always fascinates me, the commercial real estate business. I've thought a few times about getting into it, and it's just because I'm so used to residential. Not that I don't want to add it. However, I like to stay in my lane of what I know. It looks like we lost Kaylani. Where'd she go?
Yeah, we lost Kaylani. I was just gonna tell you.
I'm gonna welcome Rob up. Rob is amazing, and hey, Rob, welcome.
Thanks, bud.
It's Winning Wednesday. Are you winning this week? And if you're not winning, how can we help you get to your winning point?
No, I am not winning. This is usually the week I do not go into my office, and I am sitting in my office right now. What the hell was I thinking?
So you normally you're in your office to get to your goal for the year, correct?
No, I'm just returning phone calls. See, the thing is it's psychology. Everyone right now is feeling guilty of all the money they spent on their relatives and they don't want to call the financial planner this week to get the accountability conversation. That will be next week when they're trying to set their new goals for their fiscal year. then I'm going to get the phone calls. But however, because of a massive amount of snowfall that we've been having in Northern California and Nevada, I've been getting phone calls of, I'm stuck and I would like to know what capital gains I'm going to have for this year's taxes. So that's been my conversations today.
Yep, that's definitely something you got to think about. Your taxes. No damn fooling around. If you're not in a real estate business, you need to know that. No damn fooling around.
I mean, taxes are just a thing. And real estate and taxes are just so intertwined. It's almost like a Venus flytrap in a lot of ways. Once you bought your investment property, like, tax conversation is going to be there for the rest of your life because it's designed in such a perfect way with the 1031 exchange that you will always pay taxes unless you do a 1031, which will delay it until the day you die. And hopefully you have that property inside of a trust so that basis will actually move up. Your children, your beneficiaries, will not have to deal with the tax consequences.
That's gold. That's gold, my friend. Now, I want you to introduce yourself and what you do as much as you can while you're being recorded, because I know you have rules that you have to comply with. And let us know who you are, where you're at, so we can send you some business.
Sure. I'm a licensed financial advisor here in Nevada. I'm licensed in, I think, 18 different states now. Nevertheless, tax smart investing. I am a CFP candidate. That means I have not passed the test yet, but I am studying to actually get my CFP next year, hopefully by November.
And what is CFP? What does that mean?
Certified Financial Planner. It's
awesome.
Kind of turning into the gold standard for financial planning. In theory, I believe that the CFP board is trying to make it their own regulatory, so that will be interesting if they do. That doesn't mean they are today. But yeah, that's one of those things that I'm trying to accomplish for the year 2022. My focus is actually on real estate. So I know a few things about the 1031 exchange and other investment types that dive into real estate.
Now, it was kind of interesting because me and my wife were thinking about doing a 1031 exchange for one of our properties.
Okay.
And then we decided not to, because the thing is, we're not going
I want to hear the why.
We're not going up in the value. We're going down. So we're taking the house that's more expensive, and we're getting a smaller, like a condo, for retirement.
Oh, okay. Okay, so wait a minute. So you're selling one property that's higher value, and you're going to buy into a smaller value condo. Is that right?
Yes. So we still have to pay it. We have to pay the taxes.
There you go.
But we're just going to pay the taxes and just go into a smaller investment property, basically.
No, that's called a taxable boot. Okay. So when you sell a larger property in value and you buy a smaller property in value, that's called a taxable boot. And that taxable boot can be taken care of.
You will have to connect about that, because
you need to call me. Where are you in this stage right now? Are you in the 1031?
We haven't done the 1031 exchange yet. We just got into escrow with one of the properties right now.
Perfect. Okay, Sam. Yeah, we need to have an offline conversation.
You'll have to educate my wife on this.
I got you. Yeah, no, I got you.
Absolutely. Let's do it later on today once my daughter's kind of quiet.
Okay. Yeah, I got loan to values all the way up to 80%.
Very cool. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
to we'll sit down and we'll talk to my wife about this because that's her thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's my thing too. Like, I know it, but I can't go on national recorded things to tell exactly what investments I'm talking about.
Got it. Understood.
But it is it is IRS code and all that jazz. You know,
Absolutely.
It's good stuff, but yeah, just not for general public information.
Got it. John. John, oh my God, I haven't seen you since ADU America. This man is like the luckiest man in the world.
Oh my word! Wow, I hope my wife would agree with that.
Yeah. Well, you got really lucky during that time. So it was so nice to meet you and to get to actually see a face and what kind of individual you are and respect, brother, respect.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that a lot, and I've tried to pop into your rooms when I can. So I'm John Bell. I'm a real estate agent in Coronado, beautiful Coronado, California. I've been here about 11 years. Prior to that, I was in La Jolla, learning how to buy and sell, help clients buy and sell real estate, but more importantly, build wealth. So that's my new motto: helping clients create wealth through real estate. Which I think is a good one for 2022. But yeah, you got some really good advice from Rob. Just to simplify it, because a very simple thing is you pay tax on the boot, which they call it boot because you would stuff the money in the boot and walk out of the attorney's office or agent's office with the cash in the boot. So you only pay tax on anything you draw out. That's the difference between the higher price and the lower price. But Rob might also be able to tell you, and frankly, any 1031 exchange settlement company, the accommodator can tell you directly the rules of 1031. And I believe you might be able to take that extra equity, or if there is extra equity, percentage-wise on the more expensive property, and just put that in there and have a lower amount of debt, lower payments, better cash flow. That might be an alternative strategy. This is not tax or legal advice, so talk with the experts, and I'm sure you're going to find a strategy that matches exactly what you want to do. But yeah, that's a little bit of insight. Rob, I hope you agree. I hope I'm not stepping on any toes.
Yeah, you're almost there. I just have certain investments that are actually legal to use, as long as they're accredited. As long as they're an accredited investor, and that's why I can't talk about it.
Sure.
But basically, I can basically do the investment for the boot.
Oh, right. Okay. No, that's great. Yeah, and I've heard of those types too. So that's also great advice. And I'm following you now too, Rob, I think, and I always like networking with the experts and people that have strategies. Not everybody has the same program or the same strategy, but 1031 comes from the IRS code called 1031. So, and really kind of what I wanted to add is, like, my value add for this subject is, if you do have commercial property, and it could be residential, as your 1031, if 1031 goes away, there's another thing called engineering studies to do accelerated depreciation. And those studies are not expensive at all. It allows you to accelerate and take losses of the depreciation in the early years of ownership. And whatever you don't use up the first year, residual goes on and allows you to better cash flow those properties without having to pay taxes because you're depreciating early. So they just go through, study all the major systems, and they all wear out at different rates. And that's how they're able to do it. And I'm tied in with one of the top companies in the country that does that kind of work too. And they can also help file that part of your taxes, work with your tax advisor. So I just wanted to jump in and I actually I'm getting ready to publish on LinkedIn what do you call a YouTube recording based on that subject. I just interviewed the guy, so it was pretty cool. So yeah, that's my added value for today, man. I'll land the plane there. Thanks.
That's pretty cool because and then you only have to worry about capital gains, right? So it's kind of like, the recaptured depreciation is at 25% federal. California, of course, I think there's an additional 13% on top of that, depending on what level you're at in your tax bracket. So that's always a nice thing. to be able to make your depreciation not be recaptured. But then you have the capital gains to go to meddle with, and that's also another subject. So the 1031 exchange actually, and the IRS wants us to say defer capital gains and the recapture depreciation to the next property. But the thing is once you eventually say, hey, I no longer want to do this 1031 exchange, IRS says, hey, that's great, because we would love to collect that money from all the depreciation that you've done through all the properties you 1031 in.
Right, but that's only if you exit before the depreciation schedule is finished, right? So if you hold it for a long enough time, doesn't that depreciation recapture go away?
No, it's there.
So even if you hold it for 25 or 27 or 30 years, whatever the schedule is,
yeah,
it goes on for the life of the property.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the IRS gets really excited, right? Because recapturing early is going to be a lot smaller than if you have it for 30 years, and it's a 30-year schedule usually,
right?
Or is it 27? Anyways, it's around that range. Basically, a recapture depreciation of like a $400,000 property after 30 years, that's $100,000 they get to collect on. And you're right. This is an IRS code 1031 exchange that started in 1918. That's when they wrote that code. It's only 5 years younger than the actual original collection of taxes in 1913.
That's amazing. Wow.
And I would hate to see the 1031 exchange go away. But have they been chipping at it? Yes, absolutely. The Trump administration took out the 1031 exchange for businesses.
Yeah.
So that's what they did in their tax law.
Well, yeah, for businesses, but for personal.
Yeah, for businesses.
Yeah, so for personal, because in Southern California, that's the greatest way to build wealth. Is these mom and pop 2 to 4 units, 8 to 10 units, 15 to 20 units buildings, right. And that's really a big part of what I'm spending my time with. I really want to branch out and do more commercial multifamily. I was the co-listing agent on a property in National City that was $1.5 million, and it was 4 townhome styles. Active duty military guy walks in with a VA loan, puts 0 down, moves in one of the units, and he's starting his new up leg on 1031, and he's in his early to mid 20s, and he's now a real estate investor. Pretty cool story.
Awesome. That's great. And Sam and I are both military, so that always warms our heart, right? Yeah, that's it. And yeah, so multifamily, yeah, I'm in the realm of the 300 million, 400 unit properties that I work with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff, but I use that stuff to help you, the realtor that says, hey, Rob, my client's going to have a tax boot. I need to be saved. So my client doesn't have to deal with that. And that's the time to call me, right? Or actually the other part, like, well, we have a property, we're pretty sure about this, but we need a CYA. We need a backup plan.
Yeah.
And that's where I fit in also.
Well, and just a little bit of humor, Sam might appreciate it too. I think that's where Nancy Sinatra got that song, "These boots were made for walking," right?
Yeah, maybe.
I love it. Anyway,
the IRS do call that the taxable boot. But yeah, John, I think what you're doing, and I've read your profile, like I think you need the tool of my business to help yours.
Well, yeah, sure. That's I got to tell you, man, there's only a couple of people who I've met over the years that I know and trust, and anytime they're referred, that's a big deal. That's why I love the Clubhouse app, because in a moment, in a room, in between phone calls or Zoom calls, Zoom meetings, whatever, you can jump in, meet somebody new. I think it's great. I've got a wealth advisor here that helped me put together a nonprofit for victims of sex trafficking up in Escondido.
Awesome.
We did a big house in Coronado that's also same type of philanthropic use. I'm trying to create a nonprofit for affordable housing. Just on my own. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I'm I work
That's
with
a heavy lift.
I work with Homes for Heroes, where I've got a new active duty Navy guy looking for housing, and we have a program for him. So I'm pretty active in the community. Anything I can do to spread the word out there of the kinds of things I like to do, and it's good to hear what you're doing. And it's good to be in the room. So I'll definitely, follow you, Rob, and, hopefully we can, continue to network and find other tools and strategies that can help us mutually. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we really need to have like a conversation offline, of course, and I can give you the exact details of what I do with in the IRS code, so you understand what I'm doing is, it's on the up and up, because there's a lot of things going on in the California markets that the California Franchise Board is just beating up financial advisors for even attempting the BS that they're doing, but they're still doing it.
Yeah. Well, and that's where you got to get on the right side of that equation. Otherwise, you're
correct
in trouble. And that's the way I like to work. I work for one of the larger brokerage houses, and we do everything by the book. But back in the downturn of the market, I did a ton of short sales. I'm making offers on REO properties in the San Diego area. I do investor, buyer, fix and flips with, my client. I mean, I just play the real estate role. I'm not a principal, but that's some of the activities I do. And, I've been in the business since 2003, so, have a fair amount of experience doing it, and always willing to learn, always teachable, always willing to learn new strategies, new angles on how to do it. Because, I'm fond of this one saying that I have. We used to say this about engineering. In engineering, there's a lot of different ways to do something. Unfortunately, very few are correct.
I might steal that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, correct or optimized, Yeah, so I was out at a house today, and oh my God, it was a scene like something out of Home Depot meets Walmart, trying to build a balcony. And fortunately, I had a general contractor with me who was a carpenter. He builds balconies and decks, and we were looking at the load points and the transfer beams and figuring out what had to be jacked up and then pulled out and replaced. And these boards were fine. And, I have a little bit of an engineering background too. So that kind of stuff I just love. I'm going to be branching out more into the commercial multifamily and maybe even some of the other stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I really enjoy it. With those large properties and stuff like that, it's always exciting for me. But at the same time, it's just like, there's always those people that are just, they know better than us. and that would be the general contractors and such.
Yeah, so Sam and I met in Long Beach. There was a ADU conference there, and I think the 10K cards in there. Sam, do you remember?
10K didn't make it to the event, but no, he didn't make it to the event, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's in another room right now celebrating his 1 year anniversary with 10K cards, and I was trying to hop in there because when I was lucky enough to win that contest in Clubhouse, it included a 10K card with it. So that was a lot of fun that he was so generous to offer that, and he's a great guy too. So, but basically, cool. 10K cards, as if people don't know, it's like kind of like a link tree, but maybe better. Was that the way you describe it, Sam?
Actually, it's kind of funny on my stream. I have down at the bottom, it's your business card on steroids.
Yeah, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would agree with that. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing because you could put so many links on there, and that you just like who is it? Rogelio used to call me Sam661. And I said, oh my God, what a great way to brand myself, even though people look at it and it's confused. Who is this Sam661? But it works. People will go to the website and they'll go and look at my my links, and they know me as Sam661, and that pretty much covers a majority of the area that I cover in real estate. It it goes all the way down to where Edwards is. It goes to Edwards. It goes to Bakersfield. The only thing it doesn't cover is like Ventura County, which I also handle. But I do. I also have SAM 805. I have SAM 310. I kind of bought a number of those domain names to, so it kind of flowed for the area that I was in.
That's really cool because I was just scrolling through your bio looking at all of them. That's awesome. So now I figured it out. Yeah. Well, La Jolla is 858, which is where I have still a lot of friends and past clients. And then I also have, Coronado, which is 619. So 2 different area codes kind of in the same county, And
if you wanted to, you could just do John with those area codes. And they're so cheap to buy domain names now. It's like, it's just a no-brainer when it comes to that.
Yeah. And was there a reason on your branding you just did Sam and not because Sam Silver is such a silvery, shiny, name to begin with, but you thought Sam was okay just to do Sam?
Yeah. And I looked around and was looking for short domain names. And if somebody's going to want to know more about me, it's on my card. They could see the picture. It says Sam Silver, so I figured it's just a given.
That's a real good name for Nevada, being the Silver State.
Yeah, I have to come and do real estate there. I have to go get my dual license so I can go do real estate there, and then I'd be the Silver Realty solution or something.
I'm sure there's plenty of silver real estate names already taken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, silver is a very common one in Nevada.
Very.
So I could say the Silver Solution or something like that.
But, for California, you can Sam Silver, the gold standard. Being the Golden State, right?
There you go. Maybe I'll have to rebrand myself.
Yeah, or the silver cup's better than the tin cup.
There it is. The funniest part is the best real estate commercial ever, or advertising I've ever seen, has been on a movie, and the phrase was where everything turns to sold. I thought that was the greatest tagline ever.
Oh, that's a good one. I got one for you though. But keep in mind, my grandfather was the president of the Houston Chess Club for many years. He was the CEO of the Houston Board of Realtors from 1947 until he retired in the 70s down in Mexico, Cuernavaca, Mexico. And I got a referral from our corporate office, and they said, "Yeah, we're sending over this referral. It's a big condo at Coronado Shores. I hope you can handle it." So I said, "Well, send me the info. I'm sure I can handle it." So it was a double unit, and it was owned by Leonard Chess and Phil Chess from Chicago. And Terry Chess was the surviving son, and Phil and Leonard Chess were the beginning of Chess Records in Chicago. So outside of Berry Gordy, they were probably the biggest record producer for Aretha Franklin. The Stones were with them for a while. And the movie Cadillac Records is really based on the Chess family from Chess Records. So after the sale was consummated, I had listed it for $2,350,000 and sold it for $2,300,000 to a ready, willing, and able buyer from Mexico, coincidentally. Paid all cash. Because it was a double unit, it had to pay. He didn't care. So I called Terry and I said, "Hey, congratulations, Terry. We're closed. It's now recorded." And I said, "By the way, would it be okay if I named my new real estate company Chess Realty?" And he said, "Yeah, no problem. You don't have to get our permission because, chess, like chessboard." And I said, "Yeah, because I want to always be 3 moves ahead."
Wow.
Nice.
I like that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's the way my grandfather played chess. That's an interesting story, and I appreciate you guys being patient for me to unwind it. But yeah, so I'm thinking of doing that. Maybe there's a way I can use that motto or that slogan to honor not only my grandfather, who would bring Bobby Fischer to Houston and play the chess club 25 or 30 tables at a time. And, you know, the few times he did it, he never lost. You know, the Bobby Fischer was always a draw. But he showed me up when we were in Belgium one summer. I was working there for a summer job my dad was involved in. And the only way I beat him in chess, I think I plied him with a little extra vodka. He's a vodka drinker, so.
That's awesome.
He finally
yeah, because I did Defining Your Wealth Financial Group. My last name is Webster. So, you know, I think you're
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So it's just, it was Webster Wealth Management, but unfortunately, Webster Bank in the East Coast actually came after me and said, you can't use the name Webster. And then I did my research and found out there was like 13 other Webster Wealth Managements in the whole nation. I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't advertise for these guys. Maybe I should have my own Define. So I did.
Yeah. Well, but is Webster your last name?
Yes.
Yeah, but they can't do that. They can't tell you can't use your last name, can they?
Yes, they can.
Private wealth management.
Part is they got it trademarked, but they got it trademarked back in the day when they were actually doing their own investments. So everything they have trademarked is advertising themselves as a broker dealer. Now they're associated with LPL. So I was a little pissed off that they bothered being out the 13 other people, because I called the 13 other businesses and said, hey, are you guys getting this harassment too? And they're like, no, we don't know what the freak you're talking about. So to the SEC, trademarking themselves and advertising themselves as a broker dealer, and changed my name.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you never know what people come up with. You know, that's, you know, my favorite saying is, you know, Murphy's Law. Murphy must have been a real estate agent. You know, because if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. So when I'm showing a property, I open the sliding glass door to let some fresh air in, and I look over to my client and I say, at any moment, either the loudest motorcycle or the loudest garbage truck's going to drive by, and I don't want you to be alarmed because Murphy was a real estate agent. And sure enough,
that is funny.
Or a leaf blower or something loud and obnoxious that you've never heard, and usually I'm right, but they start laughing just because of the concept, you know. And I think my technique of getting people to laugh a little more when they're doing real estate, it kind of is a good icebreaker, you know, because there's so many crazy things that can happen.
Yeah, like I think humor always helps.
Like I was showing one property over near Pacific Beach, and the lady had birds everywhere. They weren't in the cages. Birds flying across the living room and landing on the top of the drapery rod, you know, going to the backyard slider. And I thought, man, this is like dive bombing. This is crazy. You know, I was saying this to myself, and my clients were very sweet, you know, empathetic, compassionate. They weren't going to be jolted by this scenario. And we start to walk. I said, do you mind if we look at the rest of the home? And she said, sure. So we start walking back to the master bedroom, and she goes, oh, be careful. There's an iguana back there. And I said, does the iguana bite? She says, no, only when he's cornered.
Great.
You can't write. They're going to feel cornered if you go in the master bedroom and you're coming in like 3 or 4 people. They're going to feel cornered. Right?
Yeah, you can't make up the stuff.
Oh my God. Well, I didn't mean to hijack you guys' room, but I had a lot of fun talking with Sam and Rob here to just kind of get up to speed and see how y'all are doing and all. So, what's going on with you guys? Anything new and fun? Anything else?
No, not really. I mean, this last year was actually really good for the work that I do in the 1031 exchange market. So, no, I've been very happy with that. Very happy.
Yeah. And since it's the three of us, just so I know too, so if he's got a little bit different equity to debt ratio from the old relinquished property into the replacement property, is he allowed to just let that not take the money out? Well, no. Could he reduce the debt, refi the debt?
He can he has to refi it, of course.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, and can you put more money into it to reduce? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to, well, hold on. You have to match or have a greater debt on the new property.
Yeah, you can't reduce the debt, or you can't. That's where I'm getting at.
So if I bought,
what I can provide, I can make that happen. Right? Let's just take, if he sells $1 million property, right? And sells $1 million property. Let's just say he owns $400,000. So basically his loan to value is 40%.
Right.
He goes off and buys a $400,000 property. Now he needs a loan to value of 80% to cover him if he goes all equity in that one property. He has a taxable boot, right? And the taxable boot's going to have to be 80%. I got his back on that.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. But
so
but
his loan to value will still be 40%. It's going to be in two different investments where the loan's going to come off of my stuff, which is master lending, so it won't be on his credit report.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's all I was saying, though. So another technique would be to reduce the amount of debt by refining it and taking that extra equity to pay down the loan and just refi it. You're not taking the boot because you're not possessing the money. It's not in the accommodator. It's all handled by the accommodator and escrow. They're the ones responsible or the accommodator is the chief person responsible for you not taking money to make it a bootable tax event, a tax event by taking the boot. So in a way, that's another strategy where he could refi down the debt and put the
he would have to do that inside escrow before it goes to QI.
That's exactly what I thought. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So if he puts more cash, how he'll do that? Like if you're talking maybe doing a reverse.
Well, not so much reverse, but like you say, if he's got let's say $500,000 of debt in the relinquished, and then $250,000 debt in the replacement, he's buying the replacement, so there's no debt on it when he buys it, but he wants to take all of that higher amount. He has a higher amount of debt. That's where I was getting confused. The level of percentage of debt, we got to look at those two.
It has to be equal. It has to be equal or greater.
Equal or greater.
Equal or greater. So if he leaves the property at 50%, he needs to have 50% or greater debt on the new property.
Yeah. So that's the guideline, Sam, that Rob uses and I use, or whatever the accommodator uses, to keep in lines with the IRS guidelines. And as long as you're doing that, and then with these other instruments that Rob has to give you options, because I was working with a guy out here too that's pretty advanced on this stuff, that I know those programs exist, and that's something you could look into and be completely legal and compliant, IRS compliant. But what you're losing out on is by paying the capital gains, you're losing out on the compounding effect of that property over time. And it goes to a hockey stick those later years. So, boy, it's great to have that bigger pump going on when you're not having to pay the capital gains tax.
Yeah. And I have instruments for that, too. I mean, we are 2 days, but, the opportunity zone investments, right? Those actually, you defer for 5 years, and you don't have to pay the full percent that you owe today. You would have to owe only 90% of it. So it'd be a 10% basis up. However, next year, they're not going to have that for opportunity zones.
Is that 2022 or 2023, you say?
2021, you can defer the 10% basis up. Next year, it's 0.
Oh, I see.
Defer for the 5 years, but you're going to be, if you owe $100,000, you're going to pay $100,000 in 5 years.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is really great. And like I say, I want to reconnect with you offline and we'll talk more about it. You're in Reno, is that right?
Yeah, close Carson City, yeah.
So we could just do a Zoom call and get up to speed and see how we can work together. Because I'm one of these analytical people that people call like engineers. And a lot of regular real estate agents hate engineers because we're too analytical.
Yes.
But so I have this disease called paralysis through analysis.
I built a spreadsheet just for you.
She had her radar on. There was something that's so easy to fix. She can't quite put her finger on it, but she's not buying a house that's got black caulk around the sink. Subliminally, she's against it. She doesn't even know why necessarily. It's not in her conscious mind. So the parallel to analysis through paralysis, I can't sleep at night unless I know how something works. That's just the way I am. So I could go to bed, I could be thinking about something, but until I get it straight in my head, either how it works or how to fix it or how to change out the caulk, I'm not going to buy that stupid house. And when I wake up in the morning, maybe I don't even remember why. I'm grumpy. I have a bad attitude about the house. I'm not buying the house. So women sometimes exhibit the same behavior. It's subliminal. You can't explain why. Can't quite put your finger on it, but it's a syndrome, and it's paralysis through analysis. So if somebody like yourself or Sam's got an idea, and I listen, I learn, and I ask a lot of questions, it's because through my engineering training, I have to internalize something. And when I internalize it, man, I'm good. I could write chapter and verse. I could go put on the seminar. Not that I'd want to, because some of this tax stuff and some of the financial stuff is so far advanced. I don't want to play that. I'm not going to be that cook in the kitchen. There's no way. I'm still just going to be the agent that dabbles in commercial a little bit, but mostly residential. And that's how I fly usually.
Yeah, well, I teach, because my broker-dealer is 80% tax professionals, and I'm the chapter director for Nevada.
That's so cool.
I teach the CFP. I teach the CPAs. I teach the enrolled agents. I teach these guys how to do this.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm more than confident where I actually can get onto a spreadsheet and say, okay, client, this is what I think your tax consequences are going to be. Let's get your CPA on the line. And the CPA gets on the line, and then I have a clear conversation with the CPA, and I'm just like, okay, do you agree or disagree? And they're like, well, I can defer this and so on and so forth. I adjust the numbers. And then I'm like, okay, this is your consequences. So if you choose to cash out and not do a 1031 exchange, your CPA and I both agreed this is your number.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's an extra level of service and value add that frankly I haven't been able to find. Because
I love this stuff though.
Well, but financial and tech people, they're a little bit like engineers in their own right because they're very analytical. Mm-hmm. And it's like I sold a house up in La Jolla to a guy who was a partner with Ernst & Young, and his wife was an accounting professor at University of Texas, that's my alma mater. And coincidentally, I think I met them. They just walked into the La Jolla office one day, and they ended up being my friends and my real estate clients. But we were laughing because we were talking about accounting, and I said all of the people in the business school were, they hated accounting, first of all, and they hated cost accounting. I said, cost accounting, it was a breeze. It's like math. Why would somebody get so upset? I made a straight A in it. I could learn it. I could do it in the dark. It was easy for me. So we were kind of laughing about that. And so I come to find out her husband with Ernst & Young, he had 35 people in an international tax strategy group that he would fly around the country, probably advising, he couldn't give me the names, Apple and, Amazon, about international tax strategies on how to pay the least amount of taxes corporately. Oh, yeah. And I love those guys. They were incredible. And there was a project down that I ended up selling them, 202 Coast. It was listed at 2.6. I got it for 2.1. It was a $500,000 discount, negotiated discount. And she ends up getting on the board the HOA board. And she finds out that all 13 of the luxury condos that were done, and coincidentally, my father-in-law represented the buyer when they bought the land, or bought the 33 apartments. And the guy insisted that the HOA fee be the same for all of the new 13 luxury condos. It was 33 apartments to begin with, came 13 luxury condos that were much bigger, but different sizes. He charged $1,500 HOA fee on every one, regardless of size. And I'm thinking, why would he do that? And of course, selfish greed, whatever. I can get everybody else in the community to subsidize my HOA fee if I just make a flat fee to all 13 people.
Right.
So I'm coaching her behind the scenes, and I'm saying, you just got to file a new condo plan with the DRE and say that this is unheard of and it was unjustifiable when the condo plan was granted, and that you're an accounting professor at UT in Austin, and you've been doing your research and you want to get it all changed. And that the person with the smaller condos for less money, like the one I sold my client, I mean, the front ones were what, 5-6 million or more, that they should be paying, based on the square footage of the property, and it should be a higher HOA fee. So she's in the process of doing that right now. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. Yeah, I just bought a new house into a new area in Carson City. Interesting enough, we're paying a little extra tax because that covers our HOA. We don't have an HOA. We have an agreement with the city to take care of our area.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, badass.
Almost like your own little private co-op with no rules, or just, do you guys put any money in a fund or anything to pay for anything?
No.
Okay.
All city runs it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we need more things like that. The condo thing was invented in California, and before that they were called co-ops.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a couple of co-op buildings in La Jolla, by the way, which is kind of interesting.
Now,
It is interesting.
what do you guys think of the tenants in common? The homes that are selling as tenants in common? Because I just dealt with something like that with a client of mine, and they're called ticks, and they're basically condos.
They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible, and this is why. Because the max amount of owners you can have in a tick is 35. If 34 people say, hey, we need to sell this property, and the 35th person says no, you're not selling the property.
Wow. That's pretty serious.
That also goes for replacing toilets and hot water heaters and so on and so forth.
You have to have 100% unanimous decision.
Yep.
And there can't be a different operating agreement that spells it out differently? If it's in an LLC?
Yeah, I don't know about that particular, but I do know that tick rules and ticks are kind of disappeared after the '08 crash.
Well, in
and
LA,
Rob,
they
gotta
still
tell
have
you,
them.
I'm not objecting at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm coming to the table like trying to learn myself. But there's the commercial ticks where people own a percentage of, like a Walgreens, and then there's the smaller ticks, which is like two people that are unrelated want to go buy a house. Like say it's me, John, and Rob and I see a condo we like. We can go own it, tenants in common, and they'll just call it that, and we could have 50-50 ownership. But I think that, and again, I'm just trying to validate, which way it reads. I think when it's just the casual second version, like you and I, Rob, buying a condo we like, and let's say we find an oceanfront condo in La Jolla or something, we both have some extra money and we want to put into it, and you come from Nevada occasionally, you use it, we have that all in the agreement, and you can use up to 50%. In other words, you just detail all this out in an operating agreement that goes with the LLC, and then that governs the LLC that's the owner. Maybe that's a way around it, but
that is a way around it. But
then, go ahead.
The problem is once we say, okay, this is an LLC, this is our agreement, and then we say, okay, well, it's time to sell, because maybe one of us dies or whatever, and we don't have a key man insurance on this, right, to pay out the other person. So now it's our beneficiaries trying to figure out how to sell this property. No, that's fine. Let's go back. We're both alive. But maybe I'm just not going to California as much as I thought, and I no longer need this property, and I want to sell it. Selling my interest out of an LLC is illegal for a 1031 exchange. So I just tied my hands and being in an LLC that I can't exchange out, and then I have to pay the capital gains and the recapture depreciation on it. Have to.
So that's actually the best example that I could think of where somebody wants to liquidate, and that's the number one objection when ticks were real popular, like you say, before the crash. That was the number one problem. Well, how liquid is it? How can I get out?
Yeah, and when you can't get people to agree with you on selling the property, you're stuck.
Well, let's say you have 35 people, then everybody has the choice to buy the partner out. They have to get the extra cash or debt to do that, and then you're in a. God, somebody once said, I forget who it was, maybe W.C. Fields or somebody like that, but they had a very cynical, sarcastic saying as it relates to partners, And,
it was that or Mark Twain, because Mark Twain was really good for
it might have been Mark Twain, or it might have even been the mafia version, is the only way three people can keep a secret is if two of them are dead.
Yes. That's true. There's a lot of truth to that.
Jeez.
Yeah, the one that you were referring to that you were talking about is is something called a Delaware Statuary Trust. Inside those, you have the ownership of the Walgreens that you were speaking of, right?
Right.
Of the particular property, and those are interesting. But the sponsor makes the decisions on that property. The sponsor says, hey, you can either sell, or we're going to sell this property, and we're going to give you the proceeds. You have to do another 1031 exchange if you don't want to pay the taxes right now, defer it, or you can pay it now. This is your decision.
Right.
But the sponsor makes that decision.
Right. Yeah, but I think that you're keying on some really good things, and frankly, Sam, I don't necessarily think this is the whole tenants in common thing is necessarily a good idea for a room, but if there are some redeeming values behind it, I mean, I think the number one thing I get, you guys, from my clients is, how do I start a 1031? Like, I had a client who owned a property up in Laguna Beach, and she was going to sell it, take the proceeds, and put it into a property down here. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I have a zip code, a part of a zip code that the tax assessor says that it's the absolute lowest assessed value of anywhere in the county that's west of Interstate 5. And I said, we ought to go looking down there and see if we can find something, because it's all going to come up, right? So we ended up buying something there, and I told her, I said, we need to just start the 1031 leg now. And she said, what's that? And I said, well, we get an accommodator, and we take the proceeds of the relinquished, and it goes to the accommodator, and that goes in and funds the purchase. Oh, she says, that's great. I say, yeah, then you don't have to pay 1031. I mean, capital gains. So that's how, you know, and I've gone to several seminars. So a lot of the title company affiliates that do the 1031s. Exeter's out here. You probably know Exeter. So there's some good people out here.
Yeah, no, I've worked with Exeter. I think I did some 1030. I did a property in Merced last year. So certain representatives in the House of Representatives have mistakenly given me their personal cell phone numbers. So I do call them once in a while. They are telling me that the opportunity zone is probably going to be extended. That's going to be an easy one. Now, the cost basis, that's a whole different conversation.
Right.
That's a whole other conversation. But let's think about what the benefits of opportunity zones are. The benefits of opportunity zones is to take depleted areas of the city and to revitalize them. That's what opportunity zones are there for. So what's it cost to the government to do that, right? And what it costs to them is they lose not collecting all the capital gains that they wanted to that year. They're taking a reduced collection 5 years later, although for next year there will be no reduction for them. But it does put a reduction on the person that buying the opportunity zone to not pay their taxes for 5 years on that capital gains. And then it also costs the government not to collect on any capital gains after 10 years on the investment itself.
Okay.
So it's kind of a twofer going on there. Was it? And so the government's saying, okay, well, we're willing to take this loss as long as you revitalize that area. And that's the whole point.
Well, yeah, because it's going to go up in value and they're going to just collect more later anyway. So,
right.
Because the investor's doing all the added value, regentrifying the neighborhood. So they're the ones footing the bill. It kind of, it's almost like Belarus, but just in a different way.
Hey guys, I wanted to, I didn't want to ignore Emmett on there. Emmett, welcome up, and you have something to add to what we're talking about?
Hi guys, I'm out of the Detroit area. I'm actually listening. I was listening to Rob, and I'm actually part of a deal that's in the opportunity zone right now. And I'm working with another guy that's getting ready to put something in a 1031 exchange. And Rob caught my attention when he said, sorry, that train's pulled out. I got to go right now. I kind of caught the tail end of it. I didn't catch the beginning. Sounded like maybe a client was calling you or something to that sort.
That's for 1031 exchanges. Once you touch money, when it comes out of escrow, it doesn't go to a qualified intermediary. The train has left the station.
Yeah.
So your buddy that's doing the 1031 exchange, if he's in escrow right now, he better let that escrow officer know that he is not touching the money and it's going to a QI, qualified intermediary.
Yeah, and he has, about 180 days to do that?
Oh, this is good stuff. Okay, so he has 45 days after the close of escrow. He has 45 days to list the properties that he's interested in. And there's a whole formula to it. So there's 3 different types. It's the 3 property, 95%, 200% type thing. We don't have to get into that. But you have 45 days for a listing period. And then you have, from the close of escrow, again, 80 days to decide what you're going to invest into.
Yeah.
Okay. The legislation, when they passed this back in 1918, they wanted people to fail. Why? Because they want people to pay their taxes so they can run the government. Okay. Let's put blame where blame is. But yeah, so you have 45 days to list the properties with the QI and then buy those properties within that 180 days of close of escrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
okay.
I see the picture now. I need to look at some 1031 exchange eligible properties. It sounded like you had some properties, or was that more opportunity?
I got investment stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will.
You guys connect. This is an awesome room.
Go ahead and connect with me. Get on definingyourwealth.com and schedule an appointment with me. I think my schedule's pretty open next week.
Okay.
I don't get busy until usually February, when people are actually seeing their tax professionals and they're like, "Oh, you got to put more money in." Right. But in opportunity zones is also 6 months. It's also 180 days. But there's no QI involved. So if you've already received the check and you got, if you have capital gains that you want to defer, and there's no way in the next 2 days that I'm going to be able to do a brand new opportunity zone for someone that, that I just met, right? Paperwork is a landslide.
Yeah, they didn't. That is when it was introduced to me and during our homecomings, there were a lot of funds being put together in like 2018, and they were still trying to figure it out. Everybody's visiting their CPAs. CPAs are going to webinars. They're getting fast track, like trying to figure it out themselves. In the meantime, no one understood what was going on, and I just kind of threw my hands up for some of my investors. I said, "Hey, this is the properties that I have. They're in the opportunity zones. Figure out what your tax consultants. I don't know any other avenue to push you to. However, there were some people that did reach out to me, and they wanted to put the property in a fund.
Right.
Which
means they had a little bit foresight of what needed to be done to run that fund.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. They're talking about the fund. That's wonderful. That means maybe they got a little bit more education than the rest of us.
Yeah, they were the smarter people in the rooms. So there's a couple of funds. There's a couple of funds around. I know this opportunity is going to be blown, but I have a deal that I'm representing. I mean, it's a picture perfect deal. It's affordable housing. It's in opportunity zone. Perfect cash cow. But I think the lady's going to purchase it wrong, and she's just going to do a traditional sale. Where I think that.
So then she won't get the tax benefits of the opportunity zone.
Nope. She won't believe that.
But will she get beautiful capital gains after 10 years because that area has been regentrified, and so she can sell that at a higher price? Yes.
Yeah, she will get that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? So there's this one part of like, oh, well, I didn't get to take the opportunity of the tax situation with opportunity zone. Suck moment. Absolutely. Yeah. But because it's going to be revitalized, because it's going to drive up the prices in that area, like, yeah, she's going to freaking be a rock star.
Yeah, but I really take that benefit if I understand the way I understand it. I hold on to that property, and after north of 10, 20 years, and I come out of it, and I put in almost, I don't know, the monies that I put into it for value add, and in addition to what I paid for it, if I can come out almost tax-free on it, it's worth it.
Tax-free. It is tax-free. It's 10 years. It's tax-free. Yeah.
Yeah, but in this situation, it's
You know, let's look at opportunity zones for what it really is. Okay. So you have capital gains. Let's just say you have a capital gains of $1 million. So then you owe like $210,000 in taxes. Okay. You have to take that $1 million that you have in capital gains, and you have to put it into an opportunity zone. 5 years later, you owe the IRS $210,000. You owe them because I'm talking for next year. If you get an opportunity zone today, it's going to be 90%, or 10% less. Okay, but that's not realistic right now. Opportunity Zone invested in January 1st, you're going to have to owe that
It should
$210,000.
have.
But then you're sitting there just going, but my money's locked inside of an Opportunity Zone. I don't get that money, Rob, until 10 years later, not 5, 10. So people have to understand that when they go into Opportunity Zone, they have to be able to provide the cash to pay for their taxes in 5 years. Really, the investment takes $100.2 million to do the investment and make sure that they can pay their proper taxes. How's that for a screwed up moment?
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
But the Opportunity Zones that I actually offer actually give a loan provision at that time. Loans are tax free. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then it helps the guy actually pay their taxes, and then at the end of the 10 years, then they're able to receive.
Yep.
And the company I work with has been in real estate for 50 years, and they manage $11.8 billion in property real estate in the nation. So the company I work with is pretty secure.
I just sent you a IG, and I'm gonna send you my email address as well too.
Okay.
What city are you out of right now, Rob?
Carson City.
Oh, you're out of that's California or Las Vegas?
It's the state capital of Nevada.
Okay.
And interesting enough, I'm actually 415 miles away from Las Vegas. Yeah. Nevada's a big state.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's why they keep on trying to put nuclear shit in our freaking Yucca Mountain.
What's up with that?
Oh, man. It's funny. It's funny. But yeah, it's sorry, I was getting a call from a friend up here. But yeah, so no, I just I love this area. Detroit's definitely on my list to go visit. I like to see Motor City, so that'll be fun. Eventually.
The Motor City, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Maybe you can go to Canada too. Maybe you can check out Canada.
Well, it's right next to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we got.
Southern Detroit, Canada?
Yeah, we right there. Yeah, we got a beautiful lake view of Windsor. Yeah, you come on down, and I don't know if you're a vegan or not. Come on down.
I might be intimidated. You guys have a bigger lake than I do.
Yeah, we got a couple of lakes. We got
yeah.
You know, I was arguing with someone about that because I just came out of Atlanta, and I was saying what was attractive, what was it not. And I didn't know Atlanta was expanding as fast as it was compared to when I lived there in 2008.
Okay.
And it's that in the metro area has grown. They're going to be at about 8.1 million by 2025. I want to say they're at a little bit over 5 million now. Wow. IT, AI, you name it. It's a zoo.
I'm actually having my conference in Atlanta in November next year. So that's going to be fun. I got some good friends that live down there though, so I'm excited.
So I didn't want to get too off topic. I seen it says newly licensed now what?
Yeah, that was the original. That was the original theme of the room, and we were looking for wins for Wednesday. But it sounds like we got some pretty good wins going on in this room just from this incredible knowledge. And my head is just exploding right now. I started it at like 12 o'clock, a little after 12, because it took me a little bit to get my technology going. And oh my gosh, we've been all over the map today, but I am so blessed and thankful for Rob and John and Emmett and all the incredible people that came into the room today. But yeah, we definitely have to do that room about the 1031 exchange and about what Rob does and how that could help people when to get in that situation where they're like, what do I do now? Yeah, we definitely needed to have one of those rooms, and we'll do it non-recorded. That way we keep everything compliant for Rob. And
because it didn't really happen if it wasn't recorded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I'll still mind my P's and Q's, right? As long as I'm not talking about specific investments and so on and so forth. And I do have friends on this app that work for the SEC.
Yeah, you got to be real cautious with that.
I'm going to have to be like, backtrack a little bit right now. No, I'll make sure I'm very clear about what I will and won't talk about.
Absolutely.
What's up? I want to say hi to John. John, you're in California, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm in Coronado, California.
Oh, man.
He's in the pretty area. He's in the pretty area of California. I'm like north of LA.
Oh, man. I would just give, I think, any day of the month in December through March to come out there for about 2 weeks in Michigan. So I'll trade you.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I lived in Pittsburgh for 7 years. I was in the steel business. Or wait, I'm thinking, no. When I lived in Dallas, Texas, I was working for a small minority-owned company. And he wanted me to go after Ford Motor Company in Detroit and try and sell them some of our engineered equipment. And he had a good reputation of selling to U.S. Steel and some people. So I said, well, are you a minority supplier with Ford? And he says, no, I didn't know they had one. I said, you're kidding. They all have them. So I called up the Ford corporate office. I said, I need to speak to the head of your minority supplier group. And they connected me right in. I got him qualified for minority-owned supplier. We sold him 3 press feeders. It's about $500,000 sale. And the lady, I'll never forget, the lady turned to me and says, what else can you sell us?
Wow.
That's great. So when we talk about these opportunity zones, fast forward to 2021 and soon to be 2022, you can see with my background why I love talking about this stuff, because you never know where a need might come from a guy like Emmett in Detroit. And by the way, I used to go out to, how do they say, Southfield, 9 Mile,
Yeah.
all those areas. And but the stamping plant was in Troy, Michigan, and the Ford Explorer was just coming out.
Wow.
And I got a good commission check from that deal, and I went out and bought one of the first Ford Explorers. And when I was in high school, I wrote a paper. I got an A+ on Henry Ford and his significance in America, ingenuity, etc. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of Detroit, big fan of Ford. And that's just taking our talent, and figuring out, how are we going to capitalize on what's out there, maybe sometimes right in front of us, and how can we make a value-added proposition with the people we're working with. So, yeah, it's a great thing.
Interesting. Wow. You actually lived in Michigan.
No. I lived there trying to put the project together. So,
yeah.
So my claim to fame was finding out. I was living in Dallas at the time, but I'm like a chameleon. So when I went to Gary, Indiana, for the U.S. Steel plant in Gary, I went over there. They had some needs. Our people had gotten thrown out of their office because they didn't handle it right. And all I did was say, okay, what do you need? They had technology they wanted from our company, but our guys were giving them the watered down American version. And we had some really cool stuff from France that I knew about. So I got one of our French engineers to go out to Gary, Indiana, and put together a $12 million project for U.S. Steel Gary. That's a small project for them. That's like creating a shoe shine kit. That's like creating a shoe shine kit. I had a shoe shine kit when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I used to shine shoes in Metairie, Louisiana when I was growing up trying to make spending money. So that's the kind of background I have.
Wow. So you did Pittsburgh and Dallas. Jeez Louise. Dallas is sprawling. I was just out there, was it 2 or 3 months ago?
I lived in Atlanta for 3 years before I moved to San Diego. That's where I moved from. And I bought a house in Kennesaw. And back then it was $125,000 for a brand new Pulte. Was it Pulte? One of those builders, national builders. And I had a sailboat out on Lake Lanier in Atlanta. So I get around, but the thing I love about real estate, the thing I love about Clubhouse, it would take a lifetime for me to meet guys like Sam or Rob or you, anybody around, where we all have a background, we all have experience, we all have knowledge. If you look up ignorance, people say you're ignorant. Well, ignorance has nothing to do with intelligence. If you look it up in the Webster's Dictionary, it says absence of knowledge. So ignorance is just absence of knowledge. So that's a cool little thing, right? So what we're sharing in Clubhouse is new knowledge that maybe we weren't privy to. And now we can go from being, quote unquote, no offense, ignorant with no knowledge to somebody that's intelligent with knowledge. So I love the platform, and I love getting inspired with other people, because at the end of the day, no way, Jose, could I make as many friends as I've made on Clubhouse as fast as I've made them. And I tell my 17-year-old son and my 15-year-old daughter these same kind of precepts on how to stay teachable and how to learn from others. And then their experience becomes your knowledge. And that's what makes this exciting. It's a lot of fun. I'll land it there.
That's why I like you, John. You have such a great spin on things, and you could really tell the quality of a person you are. Not only that, I got to meet you and spend a little time talking, but you could tell a lot about a person through their voice. So I really appreciate you, John, and Rob and Emmett. You guys are awesome, and we've been rolling this room for a little while now, and I think I'm going to close at 3. So maybe if you want to ping anybody in here that wants to know about, well, we were talking about 1031 exchange and talking about what Rob does, and feel free to ping some people in so we can add some value to them and educate them, at least, on the 1031 exchange process, because I'm learning so much. And I've been in the business since about 2004. I knew the basics of the 1031 exchange, but things change all the time. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So Emmett, I just made you a moderator too, so you can ping some people in here as well.
Sure thing. So, wow. I mean, that's crazy, John. Just to hear somebody told me that about. I used to have a Explorer too. I drove that Explorer from Michigan to Texas to school. Man, that's wild. And just to hear, I mean, you had an experience, doing that business up here in Detroit, and even Rob talking about coming up this way as well too. It's crazy. I mean, this Clubhouse app it makes you a little bit closer. And like you said, meeting people that you would have never met before, that's huge. But talking more about 1031 exchange, I got to figure something out, because this gentleman that I'm setting up a deal for 45 units, he's learning the 1031 exchange, and that's been part of our delay to start doing the due diligence and all the fun stuff with the contract. And I'm gonna try to help navigate him into a new.
Is he in escrow right now?
No, we're not in escrow yet. He's learning about the 1031 exchange. Evidently, he has
Because there's just really two parts to learn about the 1031.
I guess he's learning it, and
basically you're going to help him sell the four unit. Basically, is this where this is coming from?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And he's I guess trying to target another property, or trying to line up where he's going to go into another property. This is his first time doing this, so
I get it. Okay, because there isn't much learned about the 1031 exchange, right? There's that 45-day, 180-day period.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that are very important. The rest of the other part, the part two, is really the QI's problem, the qualified intermediary problem. And it only becomes an educational moment for the person when there's the owner's trying to do more, right? So that goes into the 3 properties, the 200% or the 95%. Okay. No one ever uses the 95%. It's too complicated. And basically says if all the properties that you've listed, you have to own 95% of them at the end of the exchange. 95 is a pain in the ass. Okay. I've actually tried to do a spreadsheet to figure out how that could actually work out for someone. And I figured it out once for one client, and we still didn't use it. We ended up using the 200%. 200% is saying, I'm going to list as many properties as I want as long as I don't go over the value of 200% of the sale price of the property. Okay? So basically, $1 million property, you can list $2 million of property after for the 45-day period. Okay. Then there's a 3 property rule. Basically, they have to find 3 properties to replace the 1 property being sold. That one is the most commonly used. When I work with clients, it's usually we're working on the 200%. That's usually where we're fitting in. However, if your client's trying to figure out how and what properties they want to buy before they get into escrow, before they do the sale, it's kind of smart. But in today's market, doable.
Wait, say that again. In today's market, I couldn't hear you, Rob.
In today's market, it's kind of undoable, right? To be able to find a property before you sell your property, to buy that said property, because if that property is for sale today, it's going to sell tomorrow. That 45-day period, it's like, okay, all right, well, Emmett, hey, listen, I'm ready to sell my property. I got a property that I want to buy. Great. Is it listed already? You need to close escrow yesterday because that property is probably going to sell, right? That's the problem.
Right.
It's a seller's market right now.
It's a seller's market, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know something that came on my radar when I was in Atlanta at a RIA? I couldn't believe this. One guy was like, you know what people are putting money in as well? I think he said he used this as a 1031 exchange business/investment was land, and it was mineral land. Mineral
land. Yeah. Okay. For wildcatting and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
That's an option. You better hope there's a company looking at that property that wants to lease that property out.
Exactly. Because
that's the difficulty.
You're going to be stuck.
Yeah. So, but the thing is like Emmett, back, right? Has your back, and this is why you have this client who wants to sell his property. I have like kind investments that is approved by the IRS. They actually made a ruling on it. And go right into that investment. So if your client can't find anything, like, I got your client's back. And the great thing, Emmett, also is the rules of the 95, 100%, 3 properties, that doesn't have to be locked in until the 45th day. Think about that. You can actually find 400% in the 45-day period. Your client just has to sign a piece of paper saying, hey, here's my 200% I'm going to go with after the 45th day. That's pretty perfect. That's a pretty awesome moment.
This thing is going to take a spin. I'm going to have to do some real kind of I'm going to have to be creative about this. I can tell, because from what I'm gathering, at those 45 days, the property has to be listed, correct?
Those properties by the 45th day have to be on a list, QA's office, with your client's signature on it. And they will, and QIs in today's world, back in the day, they would usually, backdate it. They would maybe put all the properties on the 29th, the 49th day, and say that it was the 44th day. Today's world, QIs will not break a date. They will absolutely has to be on the 45th day. Has to be clean. So there are no shortcuts anymore. There are no attaboy backroom stuff anymore. So the thing is,
sorry,
right? No, you're good. You're good.
That was funny, man. You said there's no more back room. Oh, I can imagine. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on.
About it. The 1031 exchange has been alive 1918.
Yeah.
There's been some back roll scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to save their nuts. Like, I like talking about squirrels. I don't have any in my house. I don't have pictures. I don't have any models. I don't have any sculptures of squirrels. But I'll tell you what, squirrels are my favorite thing to talk about because they like to save nuts.
Yeah, this is going to be, because I've already got maybe 1 or 2 prospective buyers even lined up.
Perfect.
And
how old is the client?
Oh, he's in his 60s. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. Do you think you can get another property out for him? Do you think you can find something?
No, I mean.
Okay.
We're talking.
Because I got it.
Yeah, I want to see what your inventory looks like and put them in front of it, because it'll help. Help probably a couple different ways. Help speed up the process, and he's out of New York, so I can imagine.
Ooh, perfect! I'm licensed in New York. I don't have to spend any extra money.
I'll find none in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because when I think about this, when he goes into the next property, he needs it where it's cash flowing too. I mean,
I got cash flow.
Yeah.
That's easy. I got cash flow.
Yeah. Because
seriously, and the thing is, he doesn't have to make another decision again. The sponsor takes care of all of that wonderfulness.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
The sponsor, yeah.
The sponsor. I'll get more details later, but I'll get the names and exactly how it all works. But the thing is, like, he just gets a mailbox check every month, not to worry about anything. Doesn't get the phone call at midnight on Christmas Eve that the toilet's broken. doesn't deal with that anymore.
Yeah, I think he's dealing with that. I couldn't imagine getting into. I don't know about you, Sam, but I couldn't. Speaking of fixing toilets and all that stuff, there's no way in the world next rental property I get into, I'm self-managing.
The terrible teas.
The terrible teas. What's that?
The tenants, the
What's
toilets,
that one?
the trash, the taxes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Terrible teas.
oh, the terrible teas, the trash, the taxes.
Right.
Oh, and the tenant
Trash,
too, probably.
tenants.
The terrible teas. Yeah, I was actually at a buddy's house. John's gone. He's in Boston, Edison last night, and I'm like, dude, we just put together a duplex for one of our investors, and he's talking about self-managing it. I said that's the worst mistake you could ever make, man. Just, dude, leave it alone, man. Just look. We already put that in the poor formula. That's the way that this deal was booked. Leave it alone, man. Do not try to self-manage it. I mean, you really want to be at work and taking a phone call and they're saying, yeah, my stove just went out. And do you know that he has the audacity to talk about buying a stove to put in it? And then, I'm sorry, but my investor, he don't have a clue either. He wants to go buy brand new. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like, you guys,
no one really understands appreciation. It kills me that people don't understand write-offs. Like, the whole thing about write-off means you spend money. You don't get to keep that money. You spent that money. It is now gone. Yes, you get to write off. You don't get to pay taxes on it. However, at the same time, you don't get to appreciate it.
the last guy, I mean, I learned that lesson when they were like, well, do you want to keep the refrigerator or are you going to put a new one in? And the property manager said, if I were you, I would not put a refrigerator in because it's just going to create more problems. Let the tenant bring their own refrigerator in and their own stove in. Let them bring that stuff in. Mm-hmm. And I took his advice and it worked out because the reality of it is I'm not about to, the house that was left with the refrigerator and the stove, you know, it was brought to my attention. Oh, this is a good stove, good refrigerator. Keep it. It comes with the house and it works all great. And I'm like, nah, man, take that refrigerator out, that stove out, let the tenants bring that on in. This is not we're not doing a rehab flip property here. Their tenants are entitled to enjoying their space in this property. So no, I'm not. I told them, leave that stove and refrigerator alone. And it's two people that's in the deal. And one is talking about buying used. The other one's talking about buying brand new. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like investors from hell.
Right. Yeah. Well, sometimes you gotta fire those people too, because right at the same time, it's just like you don't need the 10% of your clientele to take 90% of your time, which is what I call the 90-10.
Say that again?
You don't want 10% of your clientele to take 90% of your time.
Ooh, oh man, bring it on home, man.
See, that's what I teach my advisors, right? Not the advisors that work for me.
Stop. So mean.
Welcome back, Sam.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry, Sam. I don't know, man. We were just talking about the guy with the 45 unit and coming out of it. And
No, this
I'm
stuff is
curious.
this stuff is gold. This stuff is gold. This is like a PhD in investment. So the people that are on my, I got people on Instagram. I got people on my streaming. I mean, I got a lot of people that are just sticking around and listening. So this stuff is just priceless. So yeah, keep it up.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I don't know. I talked to another investor today. He wants to get to. He's got he's got 2 kids. That's autistic, where he wants to be at home more with them. And I'm about to. You have to do some different things. I mean, it's crazy because his wife wants to buy a house, and he's credit worthy, and she's the nurse, and she's carrying the debt, and she isn't so credit worthy. And someone told it to me like this: that's why you have a significant other. So both of you all don't need to necessarily be on that mortgage.
Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So here's the strategy, Rob. She goes out and qualifies for the new home, and then he goes out and does the investments in the real estate side of the house. Can't hear you, Rob.
I'm sorry, I'm just, I'm humming over here. I'm just like, this is interesting. Go on.
Yeah. So the strategy is that she goes and purchases the house, and she qualifies for the mortgage. And then that debt isn't necessarily his debt. So that debt to income ratio doesn't apply to him.
Where they're not married, where they're just a significant other, like they're not filing taxes together and all that jazz.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So then he can go.
There are tax advantages of actually just living with someone opposed to having a marriage. You get more write-off that way. So I've been told by a tax lawyer.
Yeah. I've got that information before too. Yeah. So he can go out and do his investment thing and whatnot. I told him, check with the tax person. You guys aren't filing taxes together. I would inquire about that, and then maybe that's the direction to go, because him trying to foot it all is not gonna work out at all.
Yeah, it's interesting because you got the tax situation, but tax situations such like that, right, can be resolved in a day, or dissolved, maybe I should say, because you get Congress to actually write a tax bill, and then you get the president to sign it, and that all changes that day. And then vetting whoever the next person is going to be president and who's going to be the senators to write the next tax bill might be favorable to reverse it or to change it. Tax council. And that's a liability.
Crazy.
And the funny part is like, I want to make a point here, people that are listening. Like, I want you to think about who writes the tax laws, not who enforces them. That's just the messenger. Who writes them? It's your senators. It's your representatives. Those are the people that do the work to make sure the government's fulfilled. That is paying its bills. So don't get mad at the IRS. If you have a problem with the tax law, call your senator and say you have a problem with the tax law, and hopefully they'll change it if they listen to you. But that's the only involvement you can do to change the tax law is calling your senator or representative that you would like the tax law to be changed.
Yeah, yeah, you got to lobby your representatives. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's better to actually walk in there non-lobbyist and just say, hey, representative, I'm in your district. I don't like this tax law. I don't like how I'm paying this particular tax. Can you change it? And you know, do everything in your power not to call them an SUV, because they're just going to kick you out of the office when you start cussing at them. If you just flat out come in and say, hey, I don't understand this and I would like this to be changed, you're going to get a lot more reception from a person than you are if you come in there screaming. I mean, that's why I have personal cell phone numbers of a number of representatives throughout the nation.
Yeah, you can get a lot more. What they say, you get a lot more bees with honey than it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like learn the system. Hey, and if you really don't like the system, run. Because whatever your format you get on there, on whatever stage and soapbox you get on, if you start polling votes, they're going to be starting to listen to you and realize that's something they need to change for their district. Right? It's a shot over the bow. Basically, hey, this is what we want to do. I mean, this is how politics works.
So again, I seen newly licensed. Is that like for new realtors, Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. I created this room. Think about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and newly licensed. Now what? The next step of real estate. You know, what do you do after you get your license? Where do you go? You know, how to order your business cards. You know, basically created it to help people that don't know what to do, that are clueless. Also helping them. My Monday was Mindset Monday. So we talked about mindset is so important in business, not just real estate, but in business in general. Tuesday was, what was Tuesday? Tuesday was, what did I do, honey, on Tuesday? I don't know. Anyways, Tuesday, each day has a theme. So I've been inviting people into the rooms to help with new agents. And I kind of created it like that, but it does sometimes create its own theme. And it's kind of interesting how it transitions and I want to say metamorphosizes into different things. But this is just priceless information. I'm just getting the PhD lesson of what Rob does and how he can help these people that are clueless or they don't know what they don't know until they're educated.
Yeah, and this is all like, we're talking about 1031 exchange. This is not even the niche market for Sam, right? Sam is residential realty. So the only exchange he cares about is 121s.
Or who I can help with the 1031 exchange, because there's lots of people. Yeah, my wife says us.
Right.
So I got my family chomping at the bit. But let's do this conversation another day, and let's do the 1031 conversation. Rob, we need to connect and talk about kind of ideas to throw around with my wife. And next week, you said you have some open time?
Yeah, as far as I know, I have some open time. And Sam, just go ahead and give me an email, a call, and I'll take care of you.
Absolutely.
If I have to sneak you in on my lunchtime, I will.
All right. I appreciate you, man.
So, yeah, absolutely. That's how we take care of each other.
Good conversation, Sam and Rob. I DM'd you.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Emmett.
And same for you, Emmett. I will definitely hook you up, because it sounds like your client needs me and what I can offer them. And so, no, I'd be happy to have that conversation. And I have this 3-ring binder of quick notes for me. I don't know if you really want to call a 3-ring binder, but I'm trying to look it up, Sam. Is it a 1033 or 1034 where the structure gets burned down?
There's a reverse 1031, and then there's a 1031. I'm not sure what the third one.
There's the 121, which is personal residence. There's the 721, which is investment property going into a real estate investment trust.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the REIT?
Yes. I know these things, guys.
Oh boy. This is getting, all I knew was
this is getting deep.
Now we going, okay, I don't need to see anymore. I don't, okay, that's enough for me. Cause the more I just knew 1031 and blah, 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 and let's just get him out and get him into something else. And my client will be happy, everybody's satisfied, so. Now you're telling me about some.
So it's a 1033. That's the involuntary conversion, which is when the property gets destroyed.
Oh, wow. We don't want to deal with that one.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah. But Sam, being in Southern California.
Earthquakes?
With earthquakes and fire, mudslides.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And his residential, this is for residential property. So there's a two ways of looking at it for Sam. Like he's focused on 121s, but he should also be available and think about how 1033s affect his business. And how he can help those clients sell those properties now and exchange it without tax loss.
Wow. Yeah. That's definitely something we need to talk about. That sounds really not like a normal opportunity, but something that does happen.
Kind of opens the market up for you a little bit. Because you're probably you've been sitting there all this time, Sam, thinking, okay, so these people are, home insurance, right? Homeowners insurance, and they're not thinking about walking out with just a check and selling the property as bare land, are they? Maybe they are, and maybe you need to educate them that that's an option. You can kind of go in there with a P&C guy or gal.
I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how P&C's, like, what a great industry to be in, right? Because everyone needs P&C for the law. They don't need real estate per law. They don't need a financial planner per law, but they sure do need P&C people.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely opened my eyes about what you do and how you do it, and some of the ways that I could use it as a tool to help my business grow too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the other thing too, one of the tools I would say for realtors is that you go to your title companies and get the listing of real estate that is being rentals, right? Where the taxes are going to be sent to a second address. Those properties, if they're in the name of the person, incorporated into a trust or an LLC, or I've even seen C Corps, that means they got probate. Someone needs to educate them on that. Someone needs to go in there with a lawyer and a financial advisor and educate these people.
You just dropped the mic, brother. You just dropped the mic.
Right.
I had to let that one breathe a little bit.
That's a whole lot. Because the thing is, you go in there as a realtor too. Like the realtors I work with up here that do this. Like, we're having a conversation like, yeah, do you want to sell that? Because Rob's got you covered. Here's the property you never could sell before because they kept on saying they had capital gains. But Rob, it's here.
Yeah, we need to do like a Zoom meeting and talk about how you can help real estate agents across the country with issues that they may not know how to get through them using your tools. That would be a really, really good Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is like, if you do that conference just for the lawyer and stuff like that and get these people to build trust, that means you're building trust with that lawyer. That lawyer is going to say, hey, I have a client that's looking to buy a property or sell a property. And you're going to be the number one referral for them because you're the number one referral for their estate planning business. It's a win.
Win-win. It's win-win Wednesday. Win. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let all those boats rise.
Absolutely. And Rochelle, I'm sure your head's getting full with this stuff. You want to come up and say hi? I'm going to be closing the room in like a few minutes. Oh, my daughter just said hi.
How adorable.
Sounds like we got a clubhouse connection.
There it is. So you sent me a message that is already done it?
Yeah.
See it.
Let's see. I back channeled you my email address.
Oh, on here or on Clubhouse? I got you. Clubhouse. Okay.
Yeah. And I started following you on IG.
Here, I'm just okay. All right, I'll send you an email.
And I just sent you my 10K card, Rob.
Didn't you already send me your 10K? I think I got that before.
Probably. Yeah, it has my email, my phone number, all that stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Rochelle, come on up. Share your wins before I close the room. Wow, she's mother of 5.
This Rochelle is not my sister. My sister's name is actually Rochelle.
Supermom, mother of 5. I want her to come up and introduce herself.
Wow. Was she named after the French the town in France?
Food truck. Oh, is she out of Cali too? West Coast.
I'm looking.
I'm actually partnered up. We're opening a shared kitchen in Detroit and a urban art gallery.
I'm trying to invite her, but it's not working. Oh, there it goes. Coming up, Rochelle. Come and say hi.
Looks like it's a birthday too.
Is that what the balloon is?
Yeah. I think
Happy
that's it.
Oh, that's cool.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rochelle. That's so cool. There you go. You've been serenaded, Rochelle. She's like, oh God, what did I just come into?
Cha 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 cha.
And many more.
And may the good Lord bless you. How many versions of that?
You know what? I like the one. I'm not sure who sings it. Happy birthday to you. We scared her. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, she's gone.
She left. That's funny.
You know what? With this app, sometimes you can pocket dial. I mean, like you can have it in your pocket and push it by mistake.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. Sometimes I'll hear someone talking and it's like, oh no, my Clubhouse is on in my pocket.
man, it's crazy. I tell you, some of these rooms, guys, it is like the real estate stuff is what I stick around. I looked at your page, the back of your page, Rob. There is some real bullying for real out here. Like, there's a lot of people that are clout driven. It's funny. It's so funny. It is so funny. I've been in some like rooms where I just said, forget it. This is, and I asked myself, how do they have much time to be on this app? They must got some real systems going. Okay. I don't know.
The truth of that, right? And the interesting thing is, like, I thought it was a room full of friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, my real estate portion of my business is freaking taken off. Like, I was able to buy a beautiful mountain bike. Like, 10 or excuse me, what is it? Like 1,000 times more on a mountain bike than I ever have in my entire life. Right? Normally I pay $800. I spent $7,000 last year on a mountain bike, which was great. Whoa, boy, did they hate that. And they went after me like no one's business. And
I'm sure they did.
Are you serious? Over a mountain bike?
Over a fucking mountain bike. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Some people, I don't know. I tell you what, if you dig in a little bit more, as a matter of fact, I got a room that I'm sponsoring, guys. I'll tell you what came out of it for me. A lady by the name of Amber Lachey and 3 other gentlemen from the Detroit area here. We actually sponsor a basic room where we just we bring on guests to speak. And what developed out of it was a tour to Detroit. So most of these people came from, as far as DC, New Jersey, New York, Boston, and Chicago. So we dispelled a lot of the rumor mill about Detroit. So they were here for a 2-day property field trip tour.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's been fantastic. We got a chance to tour the city, kind of dispel. You don't need a bulletproof vest.
No, that's Las Vegas. That's downtown Las Vegas.
Okay, you don't need a bulletproof vest here. Yeah.
Okay.
We took them to the Detroit beach, the Belle Isle, showed them where our Grand Prix held, all that great stuff, and it was fun because I got to dispel a lot of those crazy rumors. Showed them where our development is taking place in Detroit and whatnot. But I mean, it all came out of Clubhouse, and there's going to be other property field trip tours and all that great stuff too, and just a lot of value add for new investors type of thing. So, but on the flip side, I've been into some wild rooms, and it's just some real mean stuff, man. It blows my mind how adults can get.
Become like children, like 17-year-old children.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. They can be like children.
Yeah. Well, the interesting is one of the people that really give me a hard time. He's on that program called Sonar, which is where all the miners hang out.
Oh, you're talking about the crypto people, probably.
And it's like an MFS. Yeah, MFTs are being sold.
Mm-hmm.
Money off of miners building these emojis. and he was a Hollywood agent, not like anyone you would know. But now he's doing that, and I'm just like, oh, great. So he's a pedophile. Cool. Take advantage of kids. Great. Like, you want to go after me? Like, yeah.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
it's just one of those moments of like, I don't know. Sounds like I'm not going to have a problem with him in a couple of years or a year or whatever. You know, when a parent realizes that their child has spent thousands of dollars on an app buying GIFs from an adult.
Yeah.
There should be a law against that. There isn't. When you're selling to a minor, there should be a law.
Well, that's where the laws come from when people are taking advantage of.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of people being able to take advantage of my 7-year-old. I don't like that idea. But like, for someone to sell a video, be over the age of 3. So a 3-year-old has enough knowledge to buy a video. That makes no sense to me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The crazy world we live in. Matter of fact, I went to go see Spider-Man yesterday. That was pretty interesting. I hadn't seen Spider-Man in a while, so it wasn't bad.
That's good. Yeah, there's been so many freaking Spider-Mans, right? It's just...
I just learned that. I seen 3 Spider-Mans in one movie. I like the original one though, but speaking of that, what I meant to say was, I think I seen another glimpse of the metaverse of it. They went into the metaverse, so
that's kind of interesting because our EXP Realty is, we've been in a metaverse for 11 years. If you look at our technology, we've been in the metaverse for 11 years.
Really?
Yeah, look up EXPI. And I won't tell you to buy it because I can't tell you that because Rob knows why. But look up EXPI and look up Verbella and look up some of those. Look up what we own. And it definitely is the metaverse. It's amazing. We have our whole brokerage on the cloud.
Hey Sam, is it because you're not a late?
I think because I purchase it, I think.
Well, there's that. But you're not part of the late. So late is a lawyer?
Nope, not a lawyer. Not a lawyer.
Yeah. So lawyer, teacher, educator.
Oh.
And the other thing too is, if you invest into something and you tell others to invest into it, that's called front running if you decide to sell as soon as the price goes up.
Yeah, not selling. I bought it at $7 a share.
Oh. I'm afraid to ask what it's worth now.
Well, it's split and now it's like at 30. Actually, let me look at it right now.
Oh, Sam, you have capital gains. Let's talk.
Hey, I'm not doing anything with it.
Back to opportunity zones. We're back on track.
You're so funny.
It's only capital gains if you sell. If you don't sell, they're
33. We're at 33.26 right now.
Oh, sweet.
So every transaction, because I could put money into stock, every transaction I get like 10. I get 10% off of what the going rate is.
So EXP is public?
Absolutely. EXPI is public. Absolutely.
Oh, EXPI. Okay.
It's interesting how they pay their realtors. At face value, it's kind of like really kind of skeptical. Like, wait a minute, I get shares for this, and I get shares for that. And it's just like, well, how's this really driving the value of shares? However, the results are kind of showing though, but it's interesting. It's definitely something I would definitely review thoroughly before getting into. But
I just say look at the history. That's all I tell.
Is it an interesting concept out there? Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of interesting because we got Grant Cardone joined actually Grant Cardone's wife joined EXP, and it's just fascinating to see all the people that are coming over to EXP because they're seeing it's more than just a real estate company. We have ownership in Verbella, which is one of the fastest. Our technology is used for military to help defuse bombs. So, we have schools that couldn't go to class that use it for their school now because of COVID. So there's all sorts of usage. Look up Verbella, Virbela, and that's our technology. Actually, if you just click on my business card, my digital business card, click on that, go to the link, scroll down to where it says Enterprise Metaverse is here. Click on that, and you'll see Verbella.
Enterprise Metaverse is here. Oh, at the very bottom there.
Very bottom.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm sorry I said that out loud. My apologies. I was reading the email.
Well, my Insta is off, but
I'm going to Dubai for the World Trade business. I'm going on a trade mission for the state of Nevada, and I'm like sitting here going, "Oh crap! They needed something from me, and I haven't produced it."
Better get that done, brother.
I hate PowerPoints.
He can't hear you.
Interesting.
Go. Go.
You're almost done.
Yes.
I noticed you work in California area. Tell me
Yes.
about, I know that this must be north of you though. Let me make sure I take a stab at it. I don't know if you're in that area. San Mateo.
San Mateo is north of me. San Mateo is like San Francisco. Yeah, that's north of me, but I have contacts up there if you need people.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me know. Back channel me. Let me know what you need.
I'm right down the road.
And he's right there too.
And you're right there too. Okay.
Yeah, San Francisco's 4.5 hours from me.
Okay. I'm just
Literally 20 minutes from the California border.
I have a friend that works for the college up there, and me and her brother are partners here in Detroit, and I'm telling her to just stay where she's at right now, because
As far as real estate's concerned?
yeah, she wants to buy a house.
Oh, there's a mass exodus right now out of California going to, well, Dallas.
Yep.
I shouldn't say Dallas. I should just say Texas. Texas, Nevada, Wyoming, Idaho. Everyone's trying to get away from the California taxes, right? So what's interesting, though, is they are selling those houses at a premium, which is just really strange.
Still at a premium, too. Yep.
Yeah, it's just
No harm.
the environment we're in right now for real estate.
No, nothing bad about, saying nothing bad about you, Sam, but I'm just like, man.
Yeah, we have stuff that's booming. We have prices way above where they should be honest with you. But supply and demand, it goes back to simple economic principles. It's supply and demand. People move out of California. However, there are people there to take those houses. So, you got some people that want to leave California. That's fine. We have people coming too. I mean, we got lots of businesses. My little community here in Santa Clarita is about 250,000, and it's like the Mecca of Hollywood. It's they call it Hollywood North because we film like Mayans MC, NCIS. That's where a lot of our tax dollars come from.
Oh, you're North Hollywood, huh?
I'm just north of, it's called the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
Northridge. Remember that big earthquake that happened?
Mm-hmm.
That was Northridge. So I'm about half hour from Northridge. Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain is like in my backyard.
Oh, Magic Mountain. That reminds me, Wayne's World.
Party time. Excellent.
Excellent. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to. They got a deal for her. Like they'll give her $100,000 once she does 10 years. She's at her like 4th year there, and I'm telling her just hang on. Just
Is she a
just
nurse? Is she a nurse?
No, she's a director at the college.
Okay, so she's in teaching. So when she is ready, I do the hero program, and I got connections of all sorts of agents across the country that also do the hero program. I get 20% of my gross back, and I refer to other agents, and I don't take a referral fee from it. I just make sure that the person is taken care of, and that the agent was willing to give the money back to the hero.
The other thing too is being a teacher. She gets a grant for that, doesn't she?
No.
I don't have a mortgage guy in here, but yeah, I mean, there's some benefits.
Well, she's
It depends on what she does in as what her employment is when it comes to teacher. There are some programs out there, and I actually have a lender that focuses on that, and it goes all the way from the teacher to the custodian when it comes to education.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some tax stuff. Like I'm looking at. That was my last class I took for my CFP. Yeah. Anyways, there's some real benefits about being a teacher and just buying it. There's some real tax benefits and grants and lower rent. Lower mortgages because of it.
Yeah, there's a Teacher Next Door program. Look up the Teacher Next Door program, Emmett. That's one of the programs that they have. Connect with me in the back channel. I'm gonna find the person that I was thinking about that does that focuses on heroes, kind of like what I do. I think she is on Real Estate for the People, which is a Facebook group. And I can find her there. Join Real Estate for the People. There's lots of really good stuff that goes on through that group. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Real Estate, and it's a great group. Real Estate for the People. Let me see if I can find her information while I'm on this with you. Let's see. I'm gonna find her name. It's not a real common name, so I'm just like, okay, where is she? Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourself. I'll find her.
all right.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up in my my last class because I thought there was a benefit.
So Rob, you're going to Dubai?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was kind of questioning. I'm set up for it, but I'm this new variant thing. I already had COVID pneumonia this last year. I don't.
Wait, what did you
kind
say?
of question.
You said you had, what was that again?
COVID pneumonia.
COVID ammonia.
Yeah, so my lungs got so filled, even though I had vaccination, I actually had a seizure and ended up in the hospital for 5 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was really nasty. Really nasty. Interesting enough, state of Nevada, every state's different. State of Nevada, once you have a seizure, you can't drive for 3 months.
What?
So today was my first day driving.
Wow. Oh man, you're blessed.
Yeah, I got lucky. I was lucky I had that seizure right in front of my wife, which is not lucky for her. Now she's probably got PTSD from it, but yeah, she saved my life. And,
Poor thing. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not on this app anymore. I kind of got you know what was the point? Being bullied on this app by a whole bunch of jackasses, and then yeah. But I could be, and I spent the 5 days in the hospital. Like, should I fuck with, should I fight back with those people, or should I just focus on what I need to do? And I'm just like, I'm gonna focus on what I need to do.
Yeah.
Focus positive energy. Negative energy just brings more negative energy to you.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is so true. I run from negative energy. I run from it because it just drains me.
Yeah, and see, this is like I'm a retired chaplain assistant. Like I don't have the time or the energy to want to fight with people anymore. I've been in war. I'm done.
Where were you at in theater, Rob?
I was in quite a few places. I was in Mosul, Iraq, Balad, Iraq, Qatar. I was also in Bagram, Afghanistan, and Kabul.
Okay. I wasn't like active military, but I was a contractor.
Oh yeah.
I did the IZ, International Green Zone, and I did Camp Anaconda, and
was that Anaconda that was right next to Mosul? Were you right outside the gate?
That was like near Baghdad International Airport. That was Baghdad.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow.
I think I did a see me, see you later. I think in that camp, if I remember correctly. I came in on a helo. I fixed a few things, and I flew out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I packed an overnight bag, and it was funny. I was just like, they were like, "So you gonna stay the night?" Nope.
There was so much going on at that, in that war, man. It was just, oh boy, so much that went on. So much. We were trying to save lives on my contract by creating what we know of as the DMV, and we created the badge program for all of the various bases.
Oh right, yeah. I have a few of those badges. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Still for mine.
Yeah, I had to have what is it called? A flight line badge.
Okay.
To drive. So I had the flight line badge plus the driving flight line badge. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we had a badge also.
At the time, I wasn't a chaplain assistant. At the time, I was actually aircraft and landing systems. Yeah.
And then on top of that, we had badges for Iraqis to come in on. Because a lot of stuff happened up in Mosul that prompted that, and we that's what created the whole program, I think, because we had a lot of we had what was it? We had a lot of people come in on bases that were not good people.
Yes,
that were bad people, and it was crazy, man.
It was. Yeah, I was up there in Mosul. That was a fun time.
You saw snow. You got a chance to see snow, probably.
I saw snow in I saw snow in Bagram, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That was freaking insane. But yeah, Mosul, we also saw snow. That was crazy too. I mean, come on. When I got there, we were like taking pictures next to the thing that said it was 130 degrees.